Zanir, Gaunteus, Kotix, Owara. Long ago, the four ancients created a world in harmony. Then, everything changed when the chat amped magic. Only Kelnor, master of good vibes, could stop them, but when the world needed him most, he vanished. 2 years have passed, and 4 adventurers have discovered a conspiracy, a company selling magic. And although their roleplay is great, they have a lot of XP to earn before they're ready to save anyone. But I believe they can save the world.
Welcome back to the Winged Badger Tavern. Let's introduce ourselves. Let's start down at Trevor and go down the line towards me.
Hello, I am Trevor. I play Zothkug Hibub, the orc cleric who is, for the party's sake, a pacifist. And, yeah, he adopted a Myconid. On to you, Jake.
Hi, I'm Jake, by the way. I play Alan Woodrear, the Asimar Barbarian. And he's a big, strong-looking guy, but he's also got a big brain and a big heart. On to you, Wash.
Wash is muted.
On to Wash Headroom.
Hey, I'm Wash. I play Jebediah Peppermint. He's a little gun wizard, molefolk, little spitfire that spits fire and fires spit. Off to you, Matt.
Hello, I'm Matt. I play the road changeling Fox. And my food has yet to arrive. I ordered it an hour ago. The restaurant is 5 minutes down the street. I'm staring at the driver drive everywhere across my town. Anyway, how are you doing, DM?
And I'm Josh, your Winged Badger Game Master. I'd love to acknowledge that for the past maybe 3 or 4 weeks, Matt has treated us to like an update on his dinner status every time he introduces himself. And I can't tell if I'm here for it yet. I'm not sure. It's just so early in the set. Like, literally, you're breaking character. All you've done is introduce the character. I just don't know how to feel about it. But I'm glad that you're consistent. You know, there's something to be said for consistency. I appreciate that.
We know what he cares about. Like, he's
That's
putting
right.
his personality on display for us and, like, what he really values. And food is one of those things. And I respect that.
Yeah.
Food is one of my things as well. Food and sleep.
Mm-hmm. Yep. One of those matters a lot to me. So I think for kicking this session off, let's take a quick moment here to remember where we were. Let's talk about where we came from, shall we? Because a lot has happened, and most of it was unexpected and not in my notes during the last session. Most of it just kind of happened. So Jebediah Peppermint and Fox are currently bumping around downtown Tumbleweb in a, I believe you guys bought a new cart, right? This is a brand new
carriage.
Edison cart.
It was a carriage.
Yeah, brand new Edison carriage, I should say. Brand
The
new
D4
Edison carriage full of sacks of grain. However, if you look really closely at those barley sacks of grain, you'll actually find 66,666 wingles, which is to say standard wingle digits. Because they successfully pulled off a serious bank heist in our last session that they did not tell their other 2 party members about. So they've got a lot of explaining to do when they get back to the Twilight Fox.
That is not true.
I guess they may not explain at all. Meanwhile, in tales of things that the party were actually planned to be focusing on, there is the situation of Annabelle and her missing father. We have made an agreement with Shale of the Grey Watch that he's going to set his ranger network to trying to research the thug who kidnapped Elliot Orchid. Elliot, of course, is Annabelle's father. So right now that's ongoing throughout the city. There's a plan to regroup on Saturday and share that information with each other. Basically a little trade, because on the other side of that trade, the party's got some partying to do. We're going to be seeing Fox and Zothkug, I believe, attend a party at Jess Bason's estate. Jess Bason, of course, wealthy CEO of the shipping and distribution company Thames, in hopes of unearthing a little bit of a connection to get closer to Elaine Mollusk, because Elaine Mollusk, the CEO of controversial company Edison, has recently gained permission to build a hydroelectric power plant underneath the city of Tumbleweb, and there's a concern that that's connected to the conspiracy that caused magic to vanish 2 years ago. That perhaps the aboleths, who we believe are responsible, the otherworldly beasts who we think might be responsible for the disappearance of magic, they might be using that same hydroelectric site as kind of a staging ground or a base of operations. We think there's some creepy fish down there, is the current hypothesis. So with that in mind, two of our party members, Fox and Zoth, are going to go and try and get close to Jess Basin, a friend of Elaine Mollusk's, while the other two, Aulen and Jebediah, are going to head to Miss Mollusk's estate. Now, Mollusk Manor is holding a wine tasting, well, a wine and other alcoholic beverage tasting for the Finchtail Ale Company's master brewers, and it's happening at the same time. So they're going to have a chance to check out Mollusk Manor, maybe do some snooping if they feel like snooping around. Maybe they'll just try some alcohol and get smashed. We don't know. We don't really know. So let's find out by jumping into tonight's Dungeons and Dragons session here at the Winged Badger Tavern. You may begin play when ready.
So Jeb, we're not gonna bring this up with them when we get back, right?
It might be muted.
Jeb boy's muting himself.
Sorry. I mean, we hadn't really gotten that far, and honestly, I didn't even think we were gonna go through with this today. So
it never happened.
Well, I mean, old Jeb's not a stranger to letting the past be in the past, but we kind of have the past in the back seat right now, and
well, it's
gonna
behind
make
us,
it a
isn't
little
it?
difficult. Well, yeah, I mean,
Would you be so
there's only
kind?
2 seats up front.
Would you be so kind, Jeb and Fox, as to describe for us the carriage you've purchased? I'd just like to know, is there anything special about it? It's like a luxury brand new carriage. What does that even mean when you get a top of the line Edison carriage?
I mean, how much are you allowing us to embellish, mechanics wise? Because I'll just go all out.
You can't put anything magic in it.
Oh man.
You've got to
Alright.
purchase those upgrades and
So
have
hear
them
me out,
installed.
right? We got this nice, it's like a carriage where you got the indoor seating that you imagine, right? Like a coach. But then right behind that, you got this nice, actual, carrying capacity. Think of it like a carriage pickup truck, but with a covered bed.
Okay.
Mm.
What's the
You
bed
know?
covered
Yeah.
in? Is it like canvas or is it a hard top?
It's
Or is it
hard
like that-
Covered in wingle digits?
Well,
Is it hard top like Jeeps or is it like a fully enclosed thing?
what do you think, Jeff? I think it'd be fully enclosed. Like it's just a long
Yeah.
carriage.
Like
It's a
like
limo, a
with
stretch
with a
carriage?
truck topper, and it's like the back folds down, and it's got like the little window thing that folds up,
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
kind of like a truck topper.
Cool. All right, carry on. I just
There's
wanted
also
to know.
there's also a trap door in the bottom of the sitting area inside.
Yes.
Very cool.
Very important.
How many does the inside seat?
I'd say probably 6, 3 on each bench.
Yeah.
Got the cool little luggage rack up on top with the little the little railing for you to tie your stuff down to.
Like your skis.
Yeah, or more like like a steamer trunk or something like that. You can batten down the
Ooh,
hatches up there and stuff.
And the one seat in the back, the middle seat, that actually folds down to allow you to go into the back.
Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
I'm glad you sprung the extra for that upgrade. That'll
Yeah.
be useful.
Yeah, very cool. Okay.
That way we can accidentally open up both, and all of our wingle digits will just fall out of the back onto the ground underneath it, and just leave a trail behind us.
Yes. It was exactly my thoughts.
Very cool. Okay, so you are bumping along downtown Tumbleweb. I assume headed back to the Twilight Fox, unless you're going to try and hide your cart somewhere.
I think we were planning on heading back to the Twilight Fox, but I believe we said that we were going to bumble around town and kind of zigzag around a little bit and kind of
Right.
make
Mm.
our presence known a bit.
We wanted to make it seem like the fact that we just drove around with a lot of money and came out of nowhere wasn't out of nowhere. So we had to
Yeah.
we had to pretend to be trading
I
by
see.
trading.
Yeah, stocking up on supplies and stuff extra rope, grappling hooks.
Okay.
You know.
Right.
Adventuring gear for our
Sweet.
adventuring
Adventuring
company.
Got
Yeah,
it.
pretty
Sweet,
much stocking the cart for the new company.
Wine,
Yeah.
alcohol.
I mean, why not?
Wine, not.
Why not?
I'm not.
You
That's
don't
how I
need
live
to.
Why not is the non-alcoholic wine that Jeb got.
You don't
Just
need
such
to.
an
You don't.
occasion.
You don't need to figure it out right this minute. But between now and the next D&D session, I need a list of that inventory so I can work out your cost. We can assume you can afford it, but I still want to deduct from your 66,666 wingle digits, because we got to see if you have enough left to pay off Jeb's debts. You know, the initial reason you took this job.
Well, that is in the forefront of Jeb's mind right now. I don't remember how much. I have it written down somewhere. I don't remember exactly how much it is, but I do
believe
have it
it's in
written
the low 30-somethings, 30,000s.
I feel like
Yeah,
real
that's
life
kinda what I
me
was
could
thinking.
relate to that, not knowing my debts.
down. Well,
When you stop
Jeb
role
knows
playing
it.
in D&D.
wash.
Oh,
All right.
yes.
Yeah, let's. I mean, you got it. Is there anything else you need? I mean, I think we got the basics, Fox.
No, I think this will work out. We should probably. Should we just park this around the side? You know, we probably don't want. I don't want to explain it. You know how soft gets.
I mean,
He's gonna start asking questions. All right.
they're gonna start asking questions sometime.
well, you know.
Well, let's do this. All right. So there's a problem with them asking questions, right?
Oh.
Well, how about we figure that out now?
I got it.
Okay.
We rented this as part of our ploy, right? To show up at the party we're going to look all fancy.
Maybe. What alternative? Well, we'll consider that an option. How about as another option, we secured an investor that is interested in helping our adventuring company, and
A very secret investor.
yeah, they kind of want to remain anonymous.
We were sworn to not reveal any information
Right.
about them.
As
Right.
you're having this discussion, kind of rattling along the downtown roads of Tumbleweb, meanwhile, in the lab of Oara, Aulen is being mentored by a resident scientist when all of a sudden two of the other worshippers who were in the temple rush to the door and go, "Whoa, that's one of the new Edison Cypher trucks. I didn't even know they were in production yet." And just like gazing out the window as you roll by, but Alan, you can't see who's driving it, but you do notice this vehicle roll by.
Oh, you see the Four Guys Adventures and Vibes logo?
Maybe they're on their way. Sure, you see the logo too. The Four Guys Adventures and Vibes logo is brightly along the side.
If I remember correctly, we all came up with that name together, right? So Alan knows the name.
Yeah.
Alan's at first Alan is like, "Oh, that's very interesting." Oh. And then Alan just immediately is like, I am so sorry. I believe I've spotted some friends. I don't know what's happening. I need to go talk to them. Thank you so much for this book. I will be studying it closely.
Roll. I'm assuming you guys are what's the
We're
best
not
way
really
to do
trying
this?
to be stealthy.
Yeah, you're not really trying to be stealthy. I wasn't talking about you guys hiding. I was trying to think about him keeping up on the downtown streets. Like you're in a vehicle and he's not. But
Well,
then I
we're
was
not
trying
really
to think
rushing
about.
either.
Yeah, and then I
they
was
have
thinking about
deep
city
rotate. They're
bustle,
kinda
so I don't
like
think you need
ox
to
pole.
roll. So you can catch up, actually.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out if you had to roll athletics to catch up or not. I don't think you do.
Okay.
They would have passed it anyway.
So do I catch up and are they visible on the front of it?
I'll
Can
tell
I
you
see
when you
them?
catch up. You
Okay.
set off after them. You guys continue your conversation.
So, all right. So, I think if we stick to that, we should be good.
Yeah, and the investors who want to remain anonymous are Jeb and Fox.
At this
So we're
moment,
not
you
lying.
show up, Alan.
True.
What are
Alan like knocks
Oh,
on the door
hey.
window.
wait, gotta
Hello,
roll down the
up
window.
okay?
Hop in.
Alan will hop in. Like this piece of machinery is wow. He's kind of marveling at it,
Ew.
this is so
I want to take a second to acknowledge that you guys said you bought this top of the line Edison Cyphertruck and you still had to roll down the window. Like, okay.
We got,
Hey, you said we
hold
couldn't
on.
add magic to it.
That's true.
I gotta
That's
update
true.
Viewer rewards. I forgot to do that before we went live.
Uh-oh.
Sorry about that, Belly.
Hold on. I'll do
I
it
can
real
take
quick.
care of it.
God.
Jake, I
okay.
can
What
take
have
care of it. Go
we
ahead.
done?
You guys
Alright.
keep playing.
What do you think, Alan? We even got it branded.
It's incredible how where we don't have the money for Jeb. You needs to pay off your debt still. We don't have the money for this.
I look at Jeb with a knowing look. We got some private investors.
We robbed a bank.
Alan immediately. What?
He's just joshing with you, man. Yeah,
Alan,
no.
okay. I don't know if he needs to roll deception on that.
He sure
Alan
does.
knows that he's not. Yeah, I say
I want
Alan.
to hear deception with disadvantage and
Yeah.
Alan roll an insight to oppose it.
Okay. Alan
You
knows he's
just come
not
out and tell the
joshing.
man we robbed a bank.
But it's so outlandish. Surely he won't actually believe.
But it's you.
And also, there was you were acting so weird about the ballroom dancing before. Like, come on.
Anytime someone in the company of a rogue
man.
says we robbed a bank, you have to roll disadvantage on the deception check after that.
Especially as you roll up in a luxury car.
Exactly.
Oh, hey Josh, can we add one more thing to the cipher track?
Sure. Tell as you give him the tour, what else does he see that we didn't know about
got-
before?
It's got spinning rims.
Of course.
All right. So
What'd you roll?
I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then I'll tell you what I rolled.
Okay.
Okay.
Say what you need to say.
I mean, you know how he is. He's always joking. All right, yeah, no, we actually got like some private investors. We told them about like the whole thing we're on to. Not just that we're like kind of trying to get by, but the whole like secret slave the world thing. We kind of left some details out, but they seemed pretty onto it. But they made us swear secrecy that we weren't allowed to reveal any information on them because they're very, very private people, and we didn't tell them that you exist. That's 13.
How'd you do on
Well,
insight?
Alan only got a 7 on insight.
Oh no!
Yes!
Why would you not tell them that we exist? Zoth and I are very important to this operation.
Well, we got caught up in the moment. We didn't really expect to run into this investment opportunity. And it just all happened in a single day.
Yes, that does make sense since it's the same day as when you left.
It was very crazy and wild.
I will attest to that. It was very crazy and wild.
That sounds.
A lot of stuff
sounds
moved
like
very
it.
quickly.
Yes.
Well, does this mean, like, what does this mean for us? Or was their investment like just for the vehicle? Did they, like?
It means we gotta design logo.
Oh,
And we
very-
have
very
operating
interesting.
capital.
Oh,
And
okay.
your old buddy Jeb doesn't have to lose his eyes now.
That is incredible. And
Yeah, it's all
and
very
and it all went off
convenient.
without a hitch. Like there's
Very
no.
convenient.
How much do we have to pay this investor back?
Well,
do
see,
they
that's
do
the
they gain a
thing.
certain point of our profits?
We told them, like, as long as we solve the world problem, we'd come back and pay back a certain percentage.
Yeah, and I think,
Anywhere from 0 to
and I
100.
think that it's important that we pay them the money back, right, Jeb? I mean,
Yes.
right? Fuck.
Yes. Yes, Fox.
Jeb, are you okay? You seem to be in a different mood today. That I've
We
never
were all in
seen
a different
before.
mood after we talked to those gentlemen. And,
Yeah,
or,
it's,
and or,
it's a little weird. My head
Ooh.
kind of feels like it's up in the clouds. I don't know.
yeah, it was wild. You should have been there.
I believe that I
Though
achieved
perhaps it was
some
best that
valuable
you
research.
weren't, but,
Well, I mean, it is what it is. But hey, so the rest of the operating capital is in the back, just
okay.
in like hard coinage. So
yeah.
You know.
interesting. What kind of hard coinage?
I mean, it's the standard Wingles.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
you know your Wingles.
Yeah. But I'm letting you know because we until we find a safe place to keep that, we're gonna need. I want you to know that
Stop!
it's back
Stop
there.
the car! Stop the car! I dive back real quick and I reach through and grab a couple wingles. I'll be all right, man. I'll be right back. I've seen this restaurant like 3 times now. I've got to go get something. Yo, y'all want something? I'll be right back. Okay, I'll be right back.
Bring me back something.
I got
something
you.
fun. Something
I
fun.
got you.
Okay.
Wow, that you guys were very productive today. It seems
Oh yeah, we got a lot
crazy.
done in a
Yeah.
very small amount of time. It was almost fortuitous, just the way that it all rolled together. But hey, what do you think?
Very
Sweet
fortuitous.
digs, huh?
Yeah, it's
We
it's
don't
amazing.
have to sleep on the ground.
Well, yes, that is true. When we're on the road, this will be perfect.
I'm going to take this opportunity to slightly interrupt the game flow here and talk about next steps for Four Guys Ventures and Vibes, chat. Because
Yeah.
we've talked about incorporating this into a business, and I went ahead and figured out exactly what that means in the world of D&D, because you know what I don't want to do is taxes twice. So I went ahead and figured out a very stripped down set of rules that are alternatives to Acquisitions Incorporated. They are homebrew rules. I would be happy to make them available in our Discord if you want to actually read those alternative rules. But basically right now, in order to incorporate, they need to identify a base master who's kind of like a chief of staff, like someone who manages their hiring, and they need to develop a mission statement. And then they will provide those things to City Council and Tumbleweb to receive a charter of commerce. And at that point, they're a business who can begin earning money. So those are the next steps in their journey, which they have not done yet. So all the other stuff, we're posturing with the logo and we've got the cart and, what they're buying equipment for it. That stuff is great, but it doesn't mean that they're a business yet. So they become Four Guys, Ventures, and Vibes at the moment that they've figured out those two things, the base master and the mission statement, and then provided them to the City Council for approval. And like smart people who actually have levels of a class will be evaluating those things. So they can't just like hoodwink them like, we exist to get rich. They have to prove that they're going to in some way benefit the City Council of Tumbleweb. So just so that you know.
So, could we assume that we have been to the City Council and picked up the paperwork, and so like we know the requirements and everything?
Yeah, you have picked up the paperwork and know the requirements, but you haven't turned any of it in yet. You're not going to get off that easy.
So I hand it to. I wasn't saying that. I was going to
Yeah.
say I hand the documents to Alan because he's like pretty smart. And
Yeah.
I'm like, so this is kind of like what we need to do, and it looks like we're actually going to have to pick up some help. So if you have any folks in mind,
Well,
some people who are.
it doesn't seem as though we need help. We necessarily need to pick up help. It's just we need to designate someone who would be able to hire people if we were to need to. That's what it seems like on this paper here.
Well, I think we actually need to hire some folks. Like, I don't think we are enough.
Your base master has to stay at your facility. Like they work at your base of
interesting.
operations. So
Yeah.
I do see that here now. Yes.
See, I
Almost
was
like
thinking
a
maybe
voice
we
pointed
could
it out to me.
temporarily make the truck, the cipher truck, a mobile base of sorts. But I don't know, like they didn't smile too kindly on that, so we might need to like actually, set up a place with a mailbox and then use Scale and Sons to keep in contact and stuff while we're about.
Guys,
This
Sure.
seems like good things to sort out possibly after Friday. Does that make sense?
let me in.
Yes. Sorry. Alan will open up the door for.
Fox with his hands
Fox.
like laden with food is trying to get
Yeah.
through the doors of the cipher truck.
All right. Jeb, I got you an apple pie. All right, I got you a little
nice.
apple pie treat.
Nice.
Alan, you didn't say you wanted anything, so all I got you was some like mashed potatoes. All right,
That's okay. That's perfect.
and I got a 3-course meal. So anyway, carry on.
Fox
He's a
sits down
growing boy.
in the 6-seat back of the cipher truck and like pulls out a napkin, which he tucks into the lapel of his shirt, and like begins eating his 3-course meal.
Well, this looks very interesting. I like I said, I think maybe after the party, when we're able to have more clarity on the next direction, might be a good time to sort our base master out and base of operations.
Agree.
And so you all roll down the streets of Tumbleweb, headed back towards the Twilight Fox. You make your way up out of the bowl, which is the downtown area, and into the first ring The streets are a little bit narrower here, so it's a little bit, more touch and go as far as handling the Cypher truck. But it's an Edison, so it's got some obstacle avoidance and stuff in it. That helps you find your way to where you're going until eventually you pull up outside the Twilight Fox, and there in the main thoroughfare out in front of the Twilight Fox is Zothkug sitting with Myconid. They're both on, the Myconid, it doesn't make much of a difference, but Zothkug is on hands and knees, and they are together. They're gardening. They've got a small dirt patch with some different kinds of plants in them, and it appears that they're communicating. The spores are no longer in the air, so you can't hear what Myconid is saying. Zothkug, you hear Myconid saying, "So, for rooted plants like these ones, it is always best to space them out this far apart." And he's showing you measurements with his hands.
Whoa, man. Okay. I think that's this much of my finger, right?
Yes, that is approximately the right size. And then if
Awesome.
you want them to grow into a community, it is good after the 4th or 5th day to take the roots and twist them like this. And the Myconid slowly pulls out the very ends of the roots and very delicately knots them together so that they grow into a one communal plant. This is how they created the canopy above us.
Oh, that's so cool, man. Whoa, hey guys. Look at the fancy new wheels.
What in the world is this?
Pretty sweet, huh?
Our salvation.
The future.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, the Myconid floats a couple new blue spores up in the air so that you can communicate with him. And as soon as they reach you, you just hear in your heads, "This is a most impressive device. What is it for?"
It's for moving around. And
Traveling
we even
in
sprung
style.
extra. We sprung extra for the self-driving package, but it's not going to come out till later.
So
You have to wait for the update package.
That's right.
Which is quite intriguing that they're able to push out firmware like that.
They said it was something like they just attach a cipher later or something like that, but they still working the kinks out.
So
Makes sense.
we have a device for moving around, but we have legs. Can we not simply move to move
Yeah,
around?
we can, man, but we don't get as tired this way. We can move farther.
Oh, it
We
is
could
for moving
sleep.
long distances.
Yeah, we can sleep in it while it moves.
Very
Yeah, it's just
cool.
like the cart. When
And
we're
it
on the
can-
cart.
Transport other objects along with us. We don't have to just take ourselves in small amounts of things.
Wow.
Hey, Alan, can I talk to you for a second? You guys find a good place to park it. I think being in the middle of the street is not the best.
There's literally nowhere to park it. The strands are not built for parking things. There's parallel parking just means taking up 2/3 of the left or 2/3 of the right of the tunnel. You're always taking up the middle third.
there,
Yes, Soth, I would love to speak with you.
Is there somebody's little side alley we can just block? Good.
Is there a side alley we can block, DM?
No, the way that the area is built, it's the one main thoroughfare, and then just little burrows are dug out to the side of it. So right next to you right now is obviously Avery's Inn, the Twilight Fox. You could hypothetically find a spot where there isn't a burrow and dig a place to park it.
Yeah, can I do that? I'll work on that.
Sure. You do that, and it takes you 15 minutes to get that,
So-
spaced out and dug and what have you.
When
I'll be
they're
doing
out
it
of
manually to not do magic in town.
Yep.
What's a
When the-
Vogon? I suggest hiring a Vogon. for
Chat
base.
suggests a Vogon as the base master.
when,
What's that?
I don't
It's
know.
what you use to get your Vogue on.
Oh, nice.
when Jeb and Fox are a little bit out of earshot, Zoth will pull Ellen in and be like, "Hey man, I don't know what Fox told you, but he probably lied. Whenever he shows up with new stuff, he usually did something bad. But don't ask about it. I asked once and it went horribly. Just pretend whatever he said was true and everything will be fine. It usually worked out the less we know." He pulled this stuff all the time. He'd go out, be gone for a day, and then he'd just show up with new stuff. I asked one time, very bad. He got it somehow. We don't know how, and that's all there is to it.
This message is Fox approved.
He seemed very. I don't know. Jeb backed him up as well.
If you
said we
want,
got
you may
angel
use this.
investors.
You may use this new information from Zothkug to re-roll your insight
Okay.
check.
I'll do that.
I feel like that might make you a little skeptical.
Jeb
I got a
also
17
did not
this
back him up.
time.
Yeah. You 100% did.
Would you get this
I
time?
Jeb,
I got a
Jeb literally
17.
told the
Okay.
truth.
So with a 17, you are curious enough to ask again, and if you do challenge him, then Fox has to beat a 17 to continue running the ruse with his deception check.
Oh. I'll tell you, I'm just telling you this for your sake. Usually the lies or usually what he says are a lie and how he got it, but just go along with it. It's much better for everyone that way. The less we know, the better.
Okay, I believe you. It's all very. I can't. It's strange to me that I can't necessarily trust what Fox says in this. I'm used to. You're supposed to trust your fellow soldiers. Like
You can trust him. Just his antics tend to not be fully righteous, if you know what I mean.
interesting. I'll keep that in mind.
He's still a stand-up guy. He's still the Fox you know, but his way of acquiring things is yeah.
I'm getting like very, very much like I hate the sin, not the sinner. Like
I'm really
But-
excited for the YouTube video of this where we hear Zothkug say his antics aren't always the most righteous, and then we flash back to Jeb going, "We robbed a bank."
But yeah, like I said, I dug too deep. Like one of the first times it happened, it ended up not going well. We ended up in a big fight. It just was a whole mess, and it's easier if you just go along with the lies. I just want to be upfront with you that whatever he told you initially is probably a lie, and I want you to be aware of that.
okay, I'm aware of that now. Thank you.
Good talk.
You know,
Yeah,
you know what
good
would have been
talk.
like the perfect alibi is somehow tell him the exact truth that we robbed a bank without it making it seem like it was illegal.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what Jeb did.
That is
Also,
what Jeb did.
it's been a little while, but the next book in the Jebediah Peppermint Chronicles is Fully Righteous Antics.
Nice.
That Fully Righteous Antics, funnily enough, is also the name of one of the letters of the Apostles of Kelnor. It's included in the
Oh, there
legit
you go.
holy texts. It's
Yeah.
Fully Righteous Antics.
That's
Um,
amazing.
Yeah.
So as you're having this conversation, Avery Peppermint strolls out of the Twilight Fox and he goes, "What's everybody doing out here?
Gardening.
Gardening? Why gardening down there? Wouldn't it be easier up there?" He points up at the canopy.
I look towards you. Would it be easier up there?
Well, it would be easier in sunlight if we were using plants that wanted sunlight, but these are rooted plants that want to be in mild darkness. You have to
What-
understand what the plant wants before you can grow a healthy plant colony.
That makes a lot of sense, man.
It is sort
this
of
how-
like catching a vibe.
Yeah. Plants have vibes too.
Plants matter too.
The reckoning.
Hashtag
so-
plants matter.
The Avery, could he hear you, or was there not a spore?
No, Avery can't hear ya.
Oh, okay. I'll be like, yeah, these plants do not need sunlight, so they're perfectly fine down here.
Ah, all right. Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you guys about ready to turn in for the day? I know you got this party thing coming up tomorrow.
Hydrate.
Yes. Oh, I got.
I got some drinks in the I got some
I'll be
drinks
back.
in here
I'll
waiting
be
for you.
back.
I hardly know Drake.
Yeah, man, that would be great. Dinner and the drinks sound lovely. Gotta get ready for the party tomorrow. I'm so excited.
Yeah, I always find that the best thing to get ready for a party is a nice long rest. That's what y'all should do tonight. Just have a nice long rest, you know?
That sounds amazing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
The parties back home used to be wild. You know, we'd go several days of partying. It was crazy.
No way. I don't think I've ever seen a party go several days. Don't y'all run out of breath? I mean, all that line dancing's gotta really take it out of you.
We do more than line dancing where I'm from.
What does that even mean? Do you do
Is it like
break
square
dancing?
dancing?
Oh, everyone has their own style of dancing.
Are we gonna talk about this?
It's a huge festival called Stockwood.
So y'all just collect timber and stuff, and that's dancing for you?
No. See, what happens is we go out into the middle of the woods.
All right.
And then everyone sort of like makes a clearing in the middle of them, and we make this huge wooden sculpture. And
All
Zoth like looks at real quick and like covers his little ears, protect like. And we make this huge structure in the middle of it, and like all weekend we're like dancing and partying around it, and then at the end of it, we light it on fire to symbolize like a closing ceremony.
Yeah, who of course hears telepathically,
Yeah.
recoils from between your hands. Like,
I'm sorry, this is before I met you, okay? This is a long time ago. We haven't done it in a while.
yeah, turns around and stomps back into the Twilight Fox. But he's
Yeah.
tiny, so his little stomps don't really do much. Like, as he
Yeah.
just stomps away.
Yeah, probably shouldn't have said that in front of him. Anyways, but it's a huge festival and religious endeavor for us. Foxman, did you ever attend a Stockwood festival?
My parents always went. I mean, I kind of got dragged along a couple of times, but I usually came out on top, out of all of it. They tried to party and stuff. I wasn't about that.
No.
But I always managed to come out with a profit.
What does that mean? How do you profit from a party?
We have
Well,
the most fun.
You sell goods the partiers want. Or don't.
All right then. Well, anyway, I'll go make you some dinner. Business stuff is not really my forte. That's why I just run this humble inn, and he heads back into the Twilight Fox to cook for you guys. Like, I think that man just said he's a drug dealer. Goes back to prepare dinner.
Hydration.
Yep. Yeah, we've all done that.
I had to go get a
hydrated.
drink.
Oh, I got to apologize to you.
What'd you say? I just got here.
I told him that about the chopping of trees and building of the wooden sculpture and then burning it.
Why would he have a? Oh yeah. Yeah. Maybe you shouldn't have said that in front of him.
Yeah, I realized it. I get excited and then I forget.
By the way, a couple blocks down that way,
Yeah.
really good restaurant. You should check it out. Okay. Jeb,
What kind of food do they got?
what's your opinion on that apple pie I bought you?
It's mediocre. It's passable though, and I
See?
appreciate the gift. But you have to understand, I'm a connoisseur of pies.
Exactly. So coming from Chad, that's like a 4-star recommendation.
So
Fox, the incredibly slimy salesperson, just turns that right around.
so
Great recovery. Have an inspiration for that.
how'd you
Very
guys
in
get the
character.
fancy new wheels? I thought Jeb had some debts and whatnot.
Oh, we found some private investors that gave us a very undeniable investment opportunity.
Awesome. That's great to hear. And Zoth just like winks towards Alan.
Alan kind of nods, understanding like
Yeah.
this is how Zoth just goes through life.
Fox, roll your deception just to see if Alan figures it out or not. DC to beat it is 17.
Well, it's an at 20, sir.
Oh, well, Alan is still convinced. He's like,
How did you
whatever you
doubt
say,
him?
Zoth.
Yeah.
Even Jeb is starting to feel like, yeah, I think we did meet an investor.
Fox is just gaslighting Jeb.
The one with the gaslighting. There's tonight's episode.
There you go.
So yeah, no,
Gaslight.
it was a really undeniable opportunity. I would love to tell you about the whole thing. We
I
kind of
would
made
love
this
to
whole
hear it, ma'am.
arrangement. We held this whole arrangement with them. They're very private people, and in exchange for us telling them secrets about our journey. They secretly wanted us to keep their secrets
Of course.
secret.
Yeah, you know.
So I can't tell you who they are, where they live.
You know, if they
Or
have
if they
this much
exist.
money, though, of course they'll be at the party.
Or well, they're private people, like I said.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but
possible,
everyone's
but,
coming to
you
the
don't know.
party.
We don't
No,
know.
to be fair, I'm not even sure if I would recognize them. They were so private that we didn't actually see them face to face.
Oh, they're wearing masks, or they just send their assistant?
Like, we kind of just talked through a wall.
Interesting. Like some sort of like game show concept. That's quite like theatrical, I would say.
You know, now that you mention it, maybe they're an actor of some sort.
Is this
Maybe that's why they had to hide their face.
is this the famous theater bit Punked?
No, I was thinking more of like a blind version of Octopus Tank, right?
You know,
that was
where a theater troupe will like roll into town and they start like pranking people.
Did you have to pitch your idea to them? Did they invite you?
No. It was. It was
Deb is
really.
just absolutely silent this whole time.
It was really just. I'm gonna like lean on Jeb a little bit. It was really just this. Oh, like we got swept up in the
When
moment.
you say lean on Jeb, do you mean like
Yeah,
squat?
elbow on his head. I mean, elbow on his head.
You still have to crouch for that.
That's true. I'm like,
Unless he's like sitting down.
Yeah.
so yeah, no, it was. It went really well. It was really all in the moment. We met him. We met him ballroom dancing.
Yeah,
Man.
of course.
Podcast listeners, to
Alan.
paint the picture for you, Fox is bending at the waist sideways to rest his elbow on Jeb's head, just so we're clear. Okay, carry on.
So it was really quite the moment.
Yeah, man. I wish I could have gone to that ballroom dancing class.
Like
but,
it,
you know.
it wiped Jeb right off his feet. Jeb had no idea the meeting we were gonna have at that ballroom dance.
I need to go to the bathroom. Yeah, please.
Just like stumble and like sit back.
He goes out the front door.
Wait, so you're going back into the hallway or the tunnel? I mean,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, out into the tunnel.
Are you doing
I'm gonna
anything?
I'm gonna cast alarm around do a perimeter around the cart.
Cool. Remind me, does alarm tell you who it is, or just that someone has crossed the zone?
It pings if someone crosses the threshold that I did not designate, and so I'm gonna designate our party members.
Cool.
But I'm not going to like anybody else.
Cool.
If they cross the threshold, I'll know.
Is it
Got
just your?
it.
Did you set it as your ping or out loud?
My ping mentally.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to add a die to the tension pool for the passage of time.
All right. Well, what time's the party on tomorrow?
The parties both start at evening o'clock.
Oh, okay.
Have about until evening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in general, your days are just mornings, noons, and evenings
Okay,
Just-
that's fine.
for the
But
sake of my
here-
tracking them.
Yeah.
Hear me out, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is I don't know what you all are doing about the tasting, okay? But me and you, Jeb. I mean, Jeb's out there. Me and you, Zoth. Sorry, I'm just not used to Zoth. Do it like usually I do your part, Zoth. I'm not sure if I feel comfortable with this, okay?
You don't
But
feel
I'm gonna
comfortable
need-
going to the party?
I'm gonna need you to pretend to be a rich person, okay? Influent.
Parties
know-
are my thing, man. I got this. Don't worry.
Yeah, these are slightly different than Stockwood. Okay, just
Well, yeah, we had other parties than Stockwoods.
okay. Well, a
You've
couple
been
of
to some
times.
high class parties before? That's pretty cool.
I wouldn't say high class.
Yeah, that's the part I'm worried about. Okay, so
where we're from, there really isn't too much like of a class system. It's sort of just
now I'll be honest. I
Vibing.
haven't really been one there either, but I just have a feeling I'd be a little better at pretending. So to help you, I know we
Yeah.
only have one invitation.
yeah.
I will be your pretend manservant.
Oh, you're my servant?
No, I'm your pretend manservant. Very
Yeah, that's what he
important
said.
distinction.
You could be his servant. That's a great idea.
Yeah, you'll be my servant for the party. You'll be
And you
my
could
party
serve
servant.
him while he's there.
Just for the party.
Yeah.
Pretending.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Okay. So, I'm gonna need you to act in fluent and high class.
Did you
I
see
believe
the
the word
outfit
you're
I have?
searching? The word you're searching for is affluent.
No, he needs to do influence.
I do not believe that that's the grammatically correct way just to go to say
I am
that
a
word.
learned person, Alan. All right.
I do
I may
believe-
not be
I-
able to do
I
your
think it's pronounced learned.
calculus.
I was about to say I do believe that that's pronounced learned. Perhaps Zothkug does have this in the bag, and you would play the role of servant better. I believe that may be showing its face right now.
Listen, I can use words really well.
Yeah,
I'm
man.
worried
No
about-
one's questioning your word
Yeah,
choice.
it's not like Fox should have
Least
said,
of all
listen,
me.
I'm articulate. He said, look, I can use words well. I use
Exactly.
lot words real good. Do fantastic trick.
It shows my flexibility with my vocabulary that I don't rely on normal words, but instead and find inventive ways to describe the same meaning.
Yeah, man. Plenty of people back home needed that.
See? Anyway, that's our ticket in. I will be there to help you.
Yeah, man. Can we show up in the carriage?
Yeah, that's my plan, unless, Jeb, you disagree.
No,
Seeing how
it's
you were
fine.
there for the investment as well. Okay.
As
So,
long as you guys are okay with it going to the valet.
yeah,
I
we'll
mean,
probably just want to, like,
Owen
clean it
and
up
I-
a little bit.
Alan and I are going to go to the other one, so maybe we'll just drop
is
you
true.
off.
Ah, yes.
Perfect. Yes.
But rich people don't lend their cars out.
No,
Well, I mean, we'll act like a valet.
yeah, they
we'll-
are
we'll
they are our
drop you off.
drivers.
Oh,
yeah.
our personal valet. Okay.
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So
Exactly.
we got our drivers, then we got my servant, and then me, star of the
Yes.
party.
Yes. Yes.
First name
I'm like-
star, last name of the party.
I
Zoth,
do not
you're gonna burn so
have
bright.
a uniform. We'll have to solve that tomorrow morning.
No. We could go to the tailor right now, get a rush order.
That
We
is
can
true.
order it overnight, but I doubt they're
We
gonna
have
have
the
it
money.
tonight.
Well,
We do have the money.
Let's go to the tailor right now. You know, get there quick and get them started. You know, we'll pay the rush fee.
Let's do it.
Yeah,
Jeb
sure.
slaps Fox on the butt. Go on, go get you some digs.
I'll be right back, guys.
Are you taking the cipher truck, or are you going on your just on
hell
foot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Taking the cipher
Hell
truck.
Yeah.
this man's bopping downtown in his cipher truck. Are you going too, Zothkug?
Yeah.
Okay. The two of you blast off into the distance. We'll come back to you in just a moment, but I want to see if Jeb and Alan have any conversations they want to have, and if not, then we'll jump back to you guys. So, Jeb, you are out in the hallway. What are you doing in the hallway? Are you just being in the hallway?
Oh, no, yeah, he came back.
came back
in.
in.
That's why
Okay.
he was talking with everybody.
Cool. So after the alarm spell, he came back in. Great. So you and
Yeah.
Aulen are now alone in the room.
So,
we
how you doing?
I'm doing well. I actually met someone extremely helpful and interesting at the temple of Owara, and I've received this book. And he pulls out the book that like the Artificer training guide, and I'm very interested in studying this and learning a lot more about creating stuff from scratch. It's a thing that I've been out of practice of for a while, and I'm eager to get back into it.
Nice. That looks really cool. Like what kind of stuff I didn't realize you were like a tinker. I mean, I knew you're smart, but is like
It's-
tinkering your interest
It's a
or
hobby. It's a hobby I was picking up back even before I joined the army. But
oh really?
yes, sadly did not get too far into it as I was eventually drafted. But yeah.
Oh, I figured you joined, but that's just my assumption.
It's one of those things where I believe I would have joined eventually after my friends passed away. I thought it was a cause worthy of my joining, but in fact we had a draft anyway, and it worked out that way. But either way, I'm excited to get back into it. I actually have been having some thoughts on perhaps your magical weapon that you have,
Oh
or
yeah, soul thing,
perhap-
and he pulls it out and
perhaps some
sets it on the table.
modifications, or perhaps an attempt at duplicating it, or
Oh,
making
that's interesting.
another slightly different, or not to insult the craftsmanship of it. It's
Oh
amazing.
no,
It's
not at all.
incredible. But perhaps give it some upgrades.
You know, I was actually kind of wondering, since I've been using it so much and we've been in a lot of tight situations, I've started to notice, just like a little bit of wear and tear on it. And, I've kind of like messed around with, tightening up some stuff and whatnot, but I don't know, it seems a little beyond me. Like, would you mind taking a look at it? Maybe we could figure something out like tonight or something while they're doing their dumb stuff.
I don't believe that what they're doing is dumb stuff.
I'm just joking. But,
but yes, I think that would be a great way to put my mind on something else before we embark on whatever happens tomorrow.
Oh yeah, parties. I mean, do we need to figure out what we're doing tomorrow?
I think that we just go into the tasting with open minds and open ears and open eyes, and take any opportunity to gain information, whether it's talking to someone there or perhaps exploring the estate, sneaking off if we need to. I don't know. I don't know if we need a plan necessarily, but more just be open to any opportunity that presents itself, if that makes sense.
So do you think it would be wise for us to stay away from talking points and just like keep our ears open, or do you think that we should maybe like try to prod some folks a little bit about if they know anything about
that
this,
may
that,
be
and the other?
your expertise. I personally have never been amazing at the subtle art of gaining information from somebody. I am a bit more straightforward, and I don't know if that would work well for this situation. So I may be more of the observing type, kind of tall, large person, just kind of in the corner, hopefully trying to blend in through my inaction and open ears rather than my ability to sweet talk somebody, if that makes sense.
Have you ever had wine before?
Yes, I have. I've had plenty of experience with alcohol. In fact, I wouldn't necessarily say so for myself, but as it became easy to become a habit when traveling, especially in the armed services.
You're just so
fun
articulate.
nights.
I figured you'd have a pretty refined palate, and that might be a nice conversation starter or something to break the ice and get people talking or something. Me, I'm a simple dude. I grew up out here in the Strands and spent a lot of time above ground, which it's not really high class up above ground. And
I see.
So I've been into when I don't drink a lot, but when I do, it's more simple and inexpensive stuff. I don't want to be that one guy that shows up and is like, oh, this smells like chestnuts or something stupid.
I see. I have not had too much experience with refined alcohol. I only started to experience that post army career. We drank only the cheapest of drinks while we were on duty.
Something that gets the job done.
Something that gets the job done. However, afterwards, when I became more of a diplomat in rust-free, or in stainless, rather, I had begun to shape my palate. However, I would not say it's fully taken shape yet, if that makes sense.
I didn't know that you were a diplomat for a while. I thought you was just a soldier. I mean, wow, Alan, we're peeling back layers, friend.
Us soldiers. Many of us transitioned to a diplomatic role once the Republic of Stainless was established. But like many like me, did leave to do other things. For me, it was scientific research immediately after, and which led me to where we are now. But
so yeah. What did lead you to to that tunnel that we found each other in? Scientific research. I mean, ain't much scientific going on in the hole in the ground, at least not that I know.
I theorized that wherever I simply was of this idea of I was going to follow any sort of strange happenings in the earth that I could hear about, because I believed something magical or something of the earth had to do with the disappearance of magic. And so I was trying to follow disturbances and research them and study them to see if I could find anything about the disappearance of magic. And those tunnels, which had previously been collapsed, or the entrance of which had previously been collapsed, when I heard that those had been opened up again, kind of randomly and strangely, I decided to investigate. And because of my not exactly sure-footedness when it comes to terrain like that, which is surprising, as I've been in the mountains for a lot of my time as well, but even then I was never the nimblest. That's when I literally ran into you.
So, like, just kind of piecing this all together and getting to know the true inside Aulen story. Like why, aside from like the practical reasons or anything, like why are you so interested in bringing magic back to the world? I mean, I think it was obviously better beforehand.
Yes,
but I mean, why set out on your own, shoulder this burden alone, for lack of a better term?
I cannot remember whether I told you or the other party members. Maybe it wasn't you. When my friends passed away in the falling of the library, that was because of magic being taken away. And I always had an interest in science and its connection to magic, and I felt like if there was any time to like explore that connection, it would be now, because maybe within that connection would be the key to bringing magic back. And of course, now we know even more, and the science aspect maybe isn't quite as important at the moment, but now it seems like we have more actionable steps to take to restore that.
So it's almost like to honor the memory of your friends.
Yes, and that's kind of why I was out on my own as well. My friends were much more of the tinkerer types, as I was talking about, where I started, and I never really connected with anyone when I was in the army as well as or even as a diplomat, as well as I did with those friends, except for you guys that I met on this journey. So
giant crazy hungry spiders have a way of doing that, I suppose.
I guess, yeah, maybe.
Alan, have an inspiration for diving into your character backstory. Love it.
Thanks.
Meanwhile, on the other side of Tumbleweb, who has joined me at Elazar's Tailor?
Hey man, you remember me?
Oh, the hat one. Yes, you with the hat. You made me famous with that hat. Thanks for the representation. Thanks for the exposure. And you look, and the shop is like, it's been less than a day. The shop is totally overhauled. It's like brand new, like shiny chrome racks to display all the new fabrics he's made. There's like a really fancy sewing machine that says Edison on the side now, like next to his, like completely new shop.
Whoa,
Jeb,
man.
is this where you got that hat?
Yeah, man. And we haven't even been to the party yet. I just wore it for like half an hour or so.
Something hasn't happened to it, right? You haven't ruined it.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Good.
The party's tomorrow, man. Like I just wore it right home. I took it off. I put it in its box, and it's just ready to party tomorrow.
Very good. Very good. So what can I do for you now?
We need a servant's outfit for my friend here. Rush order. We could pay the extra fees to have it done immediately.
Oh,
It needs
excellent.
to, match, of course.
Needs to match with the suit that I made for the tall gray one here. Yes?
But
Yes.
Tall boy, yes.
Okay, shall we let's take a look at some drafts here. And he sits down and takes off the like fancy Euro scarf and turtleneck sweater that he was wearing, sets them aside, and underneath he's got on like a cowboy vest, and he puts on a floppy like western hat, and he goes, "All right, so what I'm thinking we could do is And he pulls up a pencil and starts sketching on some parchment. What I'm thinking we could do is, so we could do something like this here that takes that green, that emerald-looking accent. And what we could do with that is we could try and bring that out using a tie here. Because, nothing says servant like generic tie. So what I'm thinking is we put like a really generic, like a long tie on him. But then what we do with that tie is we make like one of those, garbage like grandfather patterns, but we freshen it up, with some nice like emerald green, So what we'll do is we'll do some like cross stripes just like this. But then in the diamonds in the center of each one, that's where we put a little emerald green. We make that just a little bit shiny. And then the rest of the suit here, we'll go with like a nice off-white because we don't want him to outshine you, obviously. So if you're fully white, then we got to give him just like a little bit off-white, which is, complimentary. We're not going to have him clash, but I don't want him to be shining brighter than you are on the night, especially, if he's the hired help. And he's like not even addressing Fox at all. Like he's assuming that Fox really is a servant, so he's just addressing Zothkug.
Of course.
And then what I was thinking we could do is with the shoes down here, right? With the shoes, what we could do is we could use green for the soles of the shoes, So it's like bright white, and then like the well, not bright white, but off-white, and then the little emerald diamonds in the tie, and then the shoes could have like the green soles, and then we'll give him these, and he holds up like a pair of really, really like silky gloves, but they're green. He goes, these like emerald gloves, right? Because obviously, if he's your servant, you can't have his hands touching stuff before he hands it to you, right?
Of course not.
So what I was thinking is and he like flips the glove in one hand and it like rolls up with the other glove into like a set, and he like sets them down. So you'll probably want a couple of spares, right? Because he's obviously going to be the one who's like getting muddy and taking care of all the dirty stuff for you. So we'll get him how about 3 sets? You feel like 3 sets of clothes is good for his role as your servant? All right, great. So what I'll do is I'll have that ready for you. Is afternoon tomorrow? Is that too late?
Can we make it a morning? The party's in the evening, and I just want to make sure everything like he can get into everything, and if something happens.
So you need it by like tomorrow morning is what you're saying.
Yeah, that way
if
if something goes wrong, something doesn't fit right. Obviously, I'm not questioning you, but like maybe he accidentally like rips a hole when he's putting it on. It can be fixed in the afternoon.
Oh, you just rely on old Elazar, and he flips his Euro scarf around him and goes, absolutely nothing will go wrong with this creation. Now, shoo, I need to work. And he spins around and just begins sewing immediately. Like in the spin, he picks up fabric and threads it into his sewing machine and just begins. And he's like now hard at work.
Zoth, are you sure this guy's reliable?
Absolutely. You saw the hat, man.
Wait, that was him?
Yeah, this was him. You dropped me off here,
Yeah, I thought you went somewhere else, because this guy obviously... He made the hat?
Yeah. It did not look like this the first time I came in here.
It looked better?
Worse.
Okay.
He had less fabric, less machine, it was mainly just...
If he's gonna work out, he'll work out, okay?
He'll work out, trust me, man.
He just seems a little too unhinged.
No. That's just tailors.
Is it?
All tailors are like that. Don't you worry. Okay, are you guys done at the tailor? Are you heading back to the Twilight Fox?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, man, that's just how tailors are. Haven't you ever talked to him?
I'm gonna have to meet another tailor, Zoth, and something tells me that's not gonna be how all tailors are. Just saying.
Every tailor I've talked to has been like that.
How many tailors have you talked to?
One.
That's my thought.
We don't have tailors back home. Everyone just sort of patched their own clothes. You know that.
Yeah, that's why I was pretty sure you haven't met one.
Unless you consider everyone patching their clothes as a tailor, then I've met lots of tailors. Heck, we're tailors.
At this point,
let's get back.
Yeah, at this point, you make it back to the Twilight Fox, where Aulen and Jeb appear to have just kind of finished a conversation, and you walk back in through the front door. It's fairly late in the evening, and I'm assuming that you've parked the cart back where it in the little parking zone that Jeb made, so it crosses the alarm, which you don't set off, but now it's back in there. And you head back in. Are you guys doing anything before turning in for the evening?
The cart's pulled by the rotate, right?
Yeah, you picked up your 2 deep rote that you had
Okay.
dropped off at Thames. You picked them up or I should say Jeb picked them up in the last session.
I'm gonna go make sure they have food and water.
Okay, great. So you go and feed and water your deep rote.
And then I will tend to the plants if they need it.
Nope, the plants are doing great.
Okay.
Alan's okay with just going to bed, like unless anyone else needs to talk to him.
Zoth needs to talk to you.
Yeah, I'll go to bed.
Okay. Zoth goes into the room that he and Ya have been sharing. Ya is in the pot already, like curled up.
Oh, okay. Zoth won't bother him if he's asleep.
Okay. So Zoth is going to leave him in there. I'm assuming that Jeb doesn't need anything, and I'm going to go ahead and take us through to the next morning. You all wake up to a lovely breakfast prepared by Avery Peppermint waiting for you out in the...
I love Belly's chat. Sorry.
Yeah, chat just, over our long rest, chat just said, this just in, the second annual Ninja Parade slips by town unnoticed. That's a good one. Yeah, so you wake up to a nice breakfast. Zothkug, as you are just about to walk out to breakfast, you hear, the Myconid, like stretching and standing up in his pot and getting ready to go on about his day.
I will, before going out, I'll be like, hey, I'm, again, really sorry about yesterday. I'm sorry. Those things did happen. I'm not going to lie to you, but they're in the past. And I won't do it again.
Yeah, the Myconid yawns and looks up at you and floats a single blue spore towards you. And then coldly in your mind, you hear a voice go, "What?"
I just wanted to say I'm very sorry, and I want you to know that those things are in the past, and I'm different now. I'm learning, I'm growing as an orc, and that I'm changing for the better. And I just want you to know I'm deeply sorry.
Okay. And like walks past you out into the room to get breakfast.
Can I just add, this is like, hey man, listen, I know I messed up. I committed genocide. It happens. It's in the past. Can you just move past that part? The whole big G part. Maybe it's a little more little G, little genocide. Okay.
Could I pull Zoth to the side for a second? Just a quick second.
Sure.
Hey, Zoth.
Yeah, man.
What's what was that all about?
With yeah?
Yeah.
Oh,
you guys are normally like really good around each other and pretty chummy, and he kind of looked upset.
Yeah, he is. I said something I shouldn't have.
You're not going to do that during the party,
something?
though, right?
That's
You're not.
Yeah, what happened? I was telling Avery about some festivals back home. I think this was while you were parking the carriage. It's called Stockwood, and I talked about like part of the festivals, like cutting down trees, making a statue, and then burning it. And I accidentally said that in front of you.
Oh yeah, I didn't like the whole tree thing.
Yeah.
Well, would you? I mean, old Jeb ain't the smartest man around, but would you like some advice?
Sure, man. I'm open.
Well, first, did you know that those trees were like, if you knew that those trees were like alive or whatever, would you have ever done it in the first place?
Probably not. If they could talk to me, I probably wouldn't have done it.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like it's not really it's not really in your character to want to harm somebody. And,
yeah.
And maybe if you tell that it's like, what if he one day figured out that stones, were alive or something like that?
I don't think he's ever harmed anything, though. Like, there's just no analogous for him.
Maybe.
Like, with the spider, he just sent a spore at it,
Yeah, you make a point. I mean, it's a good thing I prefaced this with I'm not very smart, but...
That's okay, man.
Behind you on
I-
the table, yeah, the mic in it is like dipping one of his arms into a cup and like, really loudly and awkwardly like drinking water out of it.
I like having this conversation like right in front of him. Like, yeah, man, I didn't know it was genocide. You know,
But this is also this is just what the people back home did. I didn't. It's not like I was throwing the festival or that I put it all together and organized it. It's just everyone partakes in it.
Some may argue that complicity is the same as active participation.
Jeb, you might be muted.
I was just listening.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure. It kind of looked like you were speaking.
Nah, my mouth was moving because I was eating breakfast. This is pretty
okay.
good. Good job, onions.
Hey, anything with onions in it, it's my specialty. It's like a nice
Don't
omelet
say
that
it
he's
like don't
prepared
say
for
it
you.
like that. Jeb checks his breakfast for fur.
Here he goes. I'm
Come
right here,
on.
man. Come on.
But we'll move past it. We always do. I think I just need to be more careful.
You know why they call them onions, don't you?
I do not. Learn me something.
Oh, you can't tell him a
That's
story
right.
like that.
You
We don't have time for a story like that today.
Yeah, not unless it's raining.
Yeah, Jeb, we can't go into that right now. And he turns around and goes back to what he was doing. Anybody doing anything?
Anyway,
No.
Eating breakfast and then
Well, thanks for
we gotta-
watching.
we gotta-
party.
We got to go pick up the
Fox, I mean-
servant's outfit.
yeah, I'm
Oh, yeah,
excited
pick
to
up
see
the
your
servant's
fancy
outfit,
outfit.
yeah.
Fox.
Headed back to pick up the servant's outfit. And for the first time this morning, we're going to use my nifty
Whoa.
dice cam,
Ooh.
which I have a dice cam now because I just received this set of stone carved dice. Each one of them is unique, and I'm so excited about them. So I'm rolling them on
Ooh.
camera. So there will still probably be times I forget to turn on the dice cam, and there will probably be times that I need to roll sneaky DM rolls. But for Elazar the Tailor, we're going to share this moment together, everybody. Let's see how Elazar the Tailor does. That,
Come on, low rollers.
I don't know if you can see it, but it's a 9.
Oh, not that great.
That's a 9 on the die for Elazar the
that-
Tailor.
but
that-
he has all the experience of the nat 20s though, so it's not like a 9, right?
What?
All right, you make a good point. I'll let you roll it with advantage. I'll have him roll with advantage because of that.
I'm not following. What?
Now instead, so he's saying that because Elazar's setup is so improved, like he has a
Oh,
bunch of more
okay.
resources at his
I see.
disposal to make a better hat, and he did go from a 9 to a 12, a slightly
Nice.
above average servant's outfit. So you arrive, and it looks exactly like he described, which is somewhat ridiculous, but it does match with Zothkug's outfit. It is an off-white suit. It's complete with like suit jacket and the long tie and all the stuff. The suit jacket has it's off. All of it is off-white, but the suit jacket has green buttons, and then the tie has green diamonds. And the shoes have green soles on them. They're like loafers, but like with green soles on the bottom.
But the material is all denim. It's like off-white
Yeah.
denim.
Yes, it's definitely all denim because you're down in like the mining area. So yeah, it's all denim.
Sweet.
Denim. And that is what you have been given, along with like a garment bag. You've got 3 of that set of clothing now, Fox.
Okay.
And I'm just
Okay.
adding everything you guys buy in this session. I'm just adding to a tab, and like I said, we'll work out the cost afterwards. So don't worry about tracking the numbers.
Very
We'll
nice.
just say
wow.
we give them appropriate. I'll tip them a little bit extra too for the
I
rush.
imagine by
Okay.
the end of all this, you're gonna be like, "Well, I've added all the money, and you're 1 wingle digit too short."
Jeb's gonna like walk up to the guys and be like, "Hey, here you go," and it's like 5 wingle digit stuff.
What do you think, Fox man?
Yeah.
Sorry, we stopped by that food place, and you caught me when I to go buy that hot dog.
The food is
You
so
know, you
good
could have just
there.
picked up a pie on one of the The burrows.
Now you know you can't just be eating in these clothes, right? Like, look at the color of them.
Of course, I'll make sure he
Yeah.
minds his manners.
Like, I know it's hard to find hired help. I understand.
His family has been in my family a long time.
I think they look good, sir. They look amazing. Thank you.
You're very welcome. At least you found him with good manners, even if
Oh,
he's
yeah.
not very good at his job yet.
Yeah, he's still learning, you know.
Master Hibbub, is his
I just
insolence
wanna
worthy
eat
of
right
a
now.
disciplinary action?
No. It's a party day. We're more lenient today.
What, did Jeb go with you guys?
Yeah.
Oh,
I thought
okay.
he did.
I thought we were all going.
Yeah, I
Oh,
thought
I didn't know
everyone
we
went.
were- Oh, okay, cool. I'm here too.
Adler was wandering outside the shop, like,
I was just wondering around.
Yeah, Zoth's just like, yeah, it's a party day, you know. We'll be lenient about the discipline, you know. But at the party is when we'll like kick it into high gear because we'll be in fancy company.
All right. Well, you have
yeah,
a
what he
great
said.
time at your party, and remember, if anybody asks, Elazar the tailor made your outfits.
Always.
Looking fresh. And he just turns around, whips his Euro scarf back on, and goes back to sketching in like a fabric
Very
notebook.
nice.
His name was Allie the tailor, right?
Elazar.
It's Elazar. He yells over his shoulder.
See, I told you.
Wow, that Allie has really good hearing.
It's Elazar.
Come on, Fox, man.
Freaking
Don't.
servants.
I'm so sorry, man. I don't know.
I don't know what
what's
you're
come over
talking
him.
about. Anyway, this hot dog's really good.
Yum.
Okay. So are you doing anything else before the parties, or is it party time?
I'd say party time.
Party
But
time.
if anyone
Let's
else
do
wants
it.
to do something,
I am ready to party.
All right.
I want to
Party needs a
party.
I want to rock.
Chat, which party are we going to attend first? Would you rather see the Basin Estate party where Jess Basin is throwing her celebration of the new contract, the distribution contract that she's earned with the Summit Banking Guild, and the new wealth coming into Tumbleweb, and like the big community party? Or will we attend the wine tasting at Mollusk Manor, where the Finchtail Ale Company are showing off their latest and greatest brews? And potentially, since Elaine Mollusk will be at the Basin party, we might get a chance to snoop around her house. Which would you... The wine tasting. Belly Savalas wants the wine tasting. Anybody else in chat want to weigh in? I'll give it a couple minutes, and then we'll get things moving.
Saving the best for last, Belly. I like it.
The belliest for last.
The belliest. All right. We're going to go with the wine tasting.
Okay, if we're gonna go with the wine tasting, can I refill my drink so that I can have something to pretend sip on, not pretend, real sip on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Real
Okay, great.
Go ahead.
I'll be back.
All right, chat. While he does that, I'm going to actually just run a quick ad break. It's only going to go for 1 minute and 30 seconds. I'm sorry for those of you who are here that have to end up watching it, but it disables pre-roll ads for everybody else in case someone wants to join us late, and I think that's valuable. So I love you. I'll see you in 90 seconds. Unless you're a subscriber, then you don't have to watch it.
Woo!
Oh, and then you're here with us.
Yeah, and then you might be here. This is we'll know if you survive the purge.
Oh, that's a funny idea, Belly. I like it.
By the way, the new vehicle should have a
Belly,
trash
that's
bin.
called the trap door.
The trash door.
Is that what the trapdoor was for, Wash?
It can
I
be
don't
now.
know.
We can
Podcast
install a
listeners,
little box around it.
chat has just suggested that there should be a trash bin that when you dump trash into it, it literally just opens up to the road, so it's actually just like a hole and you just litter through it. Belly says, "Oh, commercials for me."
You have
Poor
to go
Belly.
back and listen to the podcast.
Yeah, I guess you'll have to go listen to the podcast. Can't
Rip.
hear us at the moment.
Now you're missing the secret to the universe, which I'll now explain
In great detail.
in great detail. And see, that's why it's very important. You got to flip your stake. Otherwise, you're going to cause World War III. Okay?
Yeah, I had never learned that about the universe. That the universe kind of relies on stakes that way, and
It really
you know,
does.
And the violin, like I was totally unprepared for the role the violin plays in this whole equation.
It's a high stake violin.
It is, yeah, it's a high stakes violin.
Nobody ever expects it, okay? You know?
Well, I mean, the world is just so high strung that, I mean, you know, when you bring a violin into the equation like that. All right.
It's
Let's go ahead and enjoy the party, shall we? So I'm going to turn the music back up here now that we're back into things. I believe the ad break has ended and chat should be returned. That's the dream. I'm going to wait an extra few seconds just to make sure. But I really do think chat ought to be... Yep, chat's back. All right, we got confirmation. So, as I'm assuming that... Oh, you're dropping them off at the party, right? So let's just go through the whole scene here. So you're rolling downtown.
Hold up.
Go ahead.
Making our way downtown.
Yeah, making your way
fast.
downtown even.
With the windows rolled down.
Yeah, and actually, Jess Basin lives in an opulent estate in the third ring of Tumbleweb. So that's the furthest from the city center, the furthest from the bowl. So you actually have to take the cart way out into the boonies, which it looks like Zothkug is driving the cipher truck there. Looks like he's got his oh my gosh, is that your hat? I love that.
I thought we were gonna drop them off first.
That's what I'm saying. You're dropping Fox and Zoth off. So I guess he can't be driving because you're dropping him off.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
who wants to
We
drive?
gotta be his chauffeur.
Who's driving?
Aulen can be an intimidating chauffeur driver.
Okay, great.
He's like
Aulen,
he's a
Like
big
it.
dude.
Aulen,
Yeah.
roll performance or profession or justify another skill to me for handling
Profession?
the cart. It could
I
be.
don't know what profession
Oh,
is.
maybe they don't have that in
Cool.
5e. That might be a 3.5
No.
skill. Try it. Well, let's use animal handling then. Roll animal handling
Okay.
for
I'll
the
handle
deep road
those
days and
animals.
their cart to see
Dang,
if
7.
it takes any damage. Oof.
No
the
good.
the cart does ding off of one wall on the way to the party. One
I'm
blemish on the brand new cipher truck.
The cipher truck handles different than the older models. I
Yeah.
apologize.
Are you gonna pay for that?
I perhaps it can come out of our capital.
Jeb will look at it and he's like, it'll buff out.
You roll up to what seems like a fairly unassuming door right there in the third ring, you know, just a little, it's like a Hobbit door, you know, a perfect circle of wood with the knob right in the center of it. And it just says Basin on it, you know, in like a printed monogrammed plaque. But there is a servant standing outside waiting for you. And as you pull the cart to a halt and the steps open and you walk down, he says, "Invitation, please."
I pull out the invitation and hand it to him.
I march up beside him
And this is my my servant. I assume that they do not need an invitation.
This invitation doesn't include a +1, sir.
But my servant isn't a +1. He's my servant.
Are you telling me that you don't even see this servant as a real being?
Does anyone?
Very well,
Oh.
you're admitted. And he opens the door, swings it wide, and beyond the door you can see it's a standard Hobbit hole front room, except that the floor is sloped, so that on the other side of the front room it's now a vaulted ceiling for like a normal tall folk house. And then beyond that, there is something that we'll find out about in a little bit, because as they walk through and the door is closed behind them by the servant, you, you, Aulen and Jebediah, you roll off downtown to the Mollusk Manor. And Mollusk Manor is like right in the bowl. So it's in the downtown area. It's where the happening is. You roll up and there is a gate at the front of Mollusk Manor with, you know, this is a big imposing property. Think like, you know, upstate New York. So the big, you know, wrought iron gates and the fence that goes around the property. And then there's a cartway, you know, a big loop in front of the actual home. And then it's this big posh kind of 3-story, you know, it's still sort of a classic dirt construction, but this one, instead of clay woven into it, has marble woven into the construction. So this one, instead of dirt and clay, is dirt and marble. And so there's a lot of like gleaming polished surfaces on the outside and a few big windows. But in the cartway loop itself, there's a stable to your left as you come in, which is where you take your cart over. And, you know, obviously they have some valets there to park it and take care of your rote, get them tied off. There's a servant's quarters on the other side of the of the cartway. So if you're at the gate, on your left are the stables, on your right is the servants' quarters. And then directly ahead of you, all around the cartway, are different stands, like different little tables that have been set up by the master brewers of the Finchtail Ale Company. And it's a nice day out in the bowl because you're underground and it's decent temperature and everything. So everyone is wearing their sort of comfortable rich, if that makes sense. Nobody's wearing like long jackets or blazers or anything like that. We're seeing the tuxedos and sort of the more affluent property that they own, the nice scarves and the pearl necklaces and the halter dresses, and all the finer things are kind of coming out. And as you step down from your cipher truck, a member of the Finchtail Ale Company wearing the same kind of green livery that everyone from Finchtail Ale wears comes up to you and says, entrance fee, please. It'll be 15 wingles.
Before we hop off, if you don't mind, like since Aulen is driving over, can I have cast alarm multiple times, like one on each door?
Sure.
Because like instead of doing a perimeter, you can do it to like a door or a window.
Yeah.
Okay. And so while he's back there casting it, like in the trunk area, he's gonna pull out a couple stacks of wingles and use those as the entry fee.
Great. So you pay 30 wingles, which covers the entry fee, and I will make a note of it on your tab.
Very nice.
And you step down from the cart. So ahead of you, there are, as I said, several stands that have been set up around the loop, and there's a chamberlain who's checking that everyone's needs are met. A house chamberlain from the Mollusk Manor, who's just kind of walking around and can I refill your pitcher of water, sir, and things like that. And otherwise, there's a few well-to-do people who are strolling around the loop, just sort of sipping something here, sipping something there, and from time to time, you see some money change hands that looks like maybe they're placing an order, to have it sent back to their estate. So that's what you see. Do you want to approach any of the stands?
Yeah, Aulen will first approach the person who is asking about like refills for water.
The chamberlain says, yes, what can I do for you, sir?
Yes, I would love a glass of water to use as a palate cleanser between tastings. Is that...
Of course. One moment. And he turns to just the nearest stand. There are 12 of these stands in all. He turns to the nearest stand and just from its pitcher pours a glass and hands you the glass. If you need a refill, simply ask.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
And then Aulen will kind of like lean over to Jeb maybe. Or are people kind of walking around in groups? Or are they kind of going on their own? Like, what's the
It's like little clumps of people, but there are also solo people. So it sort of is like, if it's a social event, then you can walk with your friends. It's not like there's a tour group or anything like that.
Sure.
And the 12 stands, do you want me to tell you what's being debuted at each of the 12 stands? All right, there are 12 drinks that you can experience here. There is the Bright Blossom, Spring Kiss, Rose Lion, Cinnamon Pearl, Twilight Berry Whiskey, Citron Vert Fantaisie Kool-Aid, The Duchess, Maiden's Riddle, Silver Snake, Pure Snowball, Cloud Drop, and Unholy Volcano. These are the names of the different drinks that are being debuted at the Finchtail Ale Company Master Brewers testing.
Aulen
Deb
will
walks straight over to the Unholy Volcano.
Aulen was also going to go to the Unholy Volcano. You start off strong, and then everything else tastes weak in comparison.
You walk
gives you
over
a bit of a fist bump as we both are like magnetically drawn.
You walk over to the Unholy. Wordlessly, you just both walk straight to the Unholy Volcano. You like cross, a straight line across the circular loop to get to the Unholy Volcano as fast as possible, and then you just fist bump to the side. As you approach, there is a grizzled old master brewer there who, he's a human. He's probably in his late 80s, and he's like, all right, this will put hair on your chest or it'll burn it right back off. You want to try some Unholy Volcano? And he lifts up, and you can see it's actually being served in miniature volcanoes.
Let's go.
Here, try some of this. And he holds out 2 of the miniature volcanoes to you. As you each touch the volcano that's being served to you, it erupts with sparks that come out the top of it. And the sparks light the surface on fire for the briefest moment. And then it extinguishes itself. Like it's burnt out all of the air that's in the glass. and you take a sip. I'm assuming, are you both taking a sip?
Uh-huh.
I would
Oh,
like
yeah.
you to roll me a Constitution save to avoid getting absolutely plastered. This drink, it
In
tastes
one drink, we're gonna get absolutely plastered,
with the
maybe?
unholy volcano. You are. It tastes a little bit like spiced apple cider if basically everything else had been added into spiced apple cider. It's like a mixture of a bunch of different liquors, but at the
sounds-
dominant flavor is spiced apple cider.
That sounds amazing, and Alan got a 6.
Sounds like some jungle juice.
Jeb got a 7.
You guys are feeling the effects. This is going to function not.
no.
I don't want you to think of it the way that like, oh no, like my vision's blurred and like that's a lot for you to be thinking of detail wise for playing your character. We're
and
gonna
I'm
treat it.
role playing in character too.
We're gonna
don't worry,
treat it
we're here.
similar to fatigue. So instead of like trying to roleplay the different effects, you just have
Okay.
a straight disadvantage on everything dexterity based. Now, if you
Okay.
get more drunk, there will be other things that you wind up with disadvantage on. But right
Okay.
now, it's dexterity. The first thing to go is your dexterity. It always is.
Makes sense.
Jeb
We
sits
skipped to the point where like maybe your dexterity is like a +1 for like a slight bit. It just
Yeah.
went straight through that, and now it's-
Exactly. So now it's like
Yeah.
a minus, a -2 or -1.
Yeah.
So he goes, "What'd you think?"
That was quite exquisite. And then Alan will just like kind of boom, like set the thing down. Like,
Well, careful! Don't break it. Those are expensive.
I would not. They're incredible.
Well, if you wanna order some, and you can see there's like a little sign up sheet on his desk there with an absolutely unholy cost in Wingle digits associated with these things. And he goes, so the testing, of course, is covered by your cover charge. But if you want to order, we sell these in these bottles. And he holds up a larger version of the same volcanoes that they were served in. And the bottles, you can erupt them whenever you're ready. And he demonstrates, he doesn't actually do it, but he kind of mimes like, you can bop the cork off the top of it with your hand and it kind of will erupt and be ready for consumption. So if you want to order some of these, just put your names down in wherever you're staying and we'll make sure we get it to you. You look like foreigners. Out of town?
Yes. I am quite excited to explore the rest of what you have to offer. We may come back. It depends on what we discover tonight.
Very well. Enjoy your tastings, but remember, it don't get no better than the unholy volcano. And he turns, another
Jeb.
person walks up and he goes, "Step right up, sir." And like,
Jeb pulls like the collar from his shirt out a little bit,
Yeah.
and he looks down and he's like, "It's gone, Alan. It's gone."
Alan will do the same thing. Like, mine seems to have had the opposite effect, and like. Quite intriguing, Alan will say as I think Alan is okay to just like maybe move on to the next booth, albeit slowly, and maybe roll like a perception check to just like kind of see who's around, whether anyone's kind of up to anything at the moment, whether there's any conversations he can hear.
certainly. Go ahead
Which-
and roll
Okay. Perception.
perception. And luckily for you, that is not dexterity based.
I know. 14.
All right, with a 14, you notice two things as you stroll to the next flavor. The first thing you notice is that although there is the Chamberlain who's checking that everybody's needs are met, there doesn't appear to be any other house security present. So like the front door is unmanned. Like this Chamberlain ostensibly is also the doorman, The other thing that you notice is that there's a halfling male wearing a tailored maroon blazer over a white button-up with gold woven into it and bright gold polished buttons. His pants are vertical pinstripes, white on black, and he wears a top hat and carries a cane with a large clear gem on top. The base of the cane is cut into a geometric shape and leaves a distinct diamond print in the dust where he leans.
Yo,
he can be
is it Sir
overheard.
Topham Sav?
No. Sir Topham Sav, you've seen a painting of, so I would tell you if you saw him. You do not know
Drunk
this
Alan
person's
thinks
face.
for a second it's Sir Topham Sav.
He is at the cinnamon pearl table, leaning on his cane and kind of making conversation with the brewer there. Whether you go to that table or not, what you overhear of his conversation is he's asking for several bottles of the cinnamon pearl to be sent back to where he's staying at Tall Fellows, which is a tavern in the Strands.
Okay.
And he drops down. Go ahead.
No, you said he dropped some what?
He drops down 2 greater wingle digits on the table as payment. Which remember,
Yeah.
a greater wingle digit is worth 100 standard wingle digits.
Yeah. Alan will actually make his way to the cinnamon whatever, because that was probably his second choice.
Okay. Yeah, I'll reread the flavors for you just so you can confirm. Bright Blossom, Spring Kiss, Rose Lion, Cinnamon Pearl, Twilight Berry Whiskey, Citron Vert Fantaisie Kool-Aid, The Duchess, Maiden's Riddle, Silver Snake, Pure Snowball, and Cloud Drop. Those are the options remaining.
He'll go to cinnamon
Pearl.
Pearl. Yep.
And go into Citron de Fond de Bon Pavon.
Citron Vert Fantaisie Kool-Aid. We will cover your 2 experiences one at a time. Let's do Aulen first. Aulen, you head over to the Cinnamon Pearl table, and these are they're whiskey bottles that it's being sold in, so you can assume that it's a whiskey. But the actual glass is just kind of like a standard, wine glass with some of it poured into it. So this is not quite as fancy or as expensive looking as the Unholy Volcano.
That's okay.
But you walk up, and a slick-haired, young-looking gnome says, hello. You want to try some Cinnamon Pearl? Smoothest whiskey you ever tasted.
Yes, I would greatly appreciate. So this man here, and he kind of points over to the halfling, looks to be quite enjoying it, and I figured I may try to get in on some of that action, if you may.
The halfling with his top hat turns to survey you, kind of takes you in, recognizes that you're already a little bit over the edge, and he goes, I think you're gonna like it, son. This is the good stuff right over here. I noticed you started at the crazy, but you gotta bring it back down to the mellow,
I completely agree. That is usually how I prefer to experience these. Yes, I did forget. And he pulls out his glass of water. He's like, must cleanse the palate. And but he doesn't even drink that much water. Like he has like a sip of water. Aulen hasn't been this way. He hasn't been this way in a while.
Yeah.
He's enjoying this moment. And also he's a little bit playing it up for the people around him. He's innocent, he's unassuming. He's that drunk big guy over there,
The halfling deftly pops his cane from one hand to the other and then holds out his right hand for a shake. He goes, the name's Wes.
Oh no, I don't think Alan uses his fake name in this situation. I think Alan's drunk and he's like, Aulen, nice to meet you.
Pleasure. You, what brings you to Tumbleweb? You surely can't be from around here, can you?
No, I am not. However, a business venture brings me to Tumbleweb, actually. In the process of incorporating an adventuring business, in fact.
He straightens his top hat and goes, tell me more about your venture.
Me and a group of acquaintances are looking to start a company.
Acquaintances?
He's trying to sound businesslike. Are starting a company to help people with their problems that they maybe wouldn't be physically able to dispel otherwise. Infestations of monsters, problems with bandits, things of that sort.
It's a funny word choice, using dispel. It's gonna make some of us think of the old days.
Yes, something we may try to invoke a little bit in our marketing.
Well, what are you going to be called? What's your business going to be called?
Yes, we're quite proud of the name, actually. 4 Guys, Adventures, and Vibes.
It's got a good ring to it. It's smooth, just like the Cinnamon Pearl here. Well, you enjoy the rest of your experience. I'm gonna head off, and he shakes your hand one more time, does a little polite bow, and wanders off to another one of the tables.
Yes.
The Cinnamon Pearl whiskey, when you do taste it, it's like a super smooth drinkable whiskey. Is what it really is.
Very nice.
It's got a little bit of cinnamon in it, but not so much that it bites. It's got no bite to it at all, basically. Meanwhile, Jebediah Peppermint, you have gone to visit Citron Vert Fantaisie Kool-Aid. You walk over, and a gnome he's got little white tufts of hair shooting out of his ears. He's kind of like an unkempt, late middle-aged gnome. You walk over to his table, and he goes, hello, short fellow. What can I get for you? Do you want to try some of my Citron Vert Fantaisie Kool-Aid?
Yeah, I definitely want your sit down fancy Kool-Aid. I need something to bring back the feeling in my fingers.
Absolutely. And he picks up one of the it's just a whiskey glass, but it has instead the master's take on key lime Kool-Aid. Now, key lime Kool-Aid is a dirt folk tradition. Key lime Kool-Aid is the equivalent of jungle juice at in the dirt folk culture. It's the young people when they just want to get wasted, but they don't want it to taste absolutely like garbage, so they throw in key lime as well. And that's the flavor that they make. This, however, is like it tastes like key lime pie, but it has some of the some of that, like, you know, some of that alcohol kind of effect on you, but you don't taste any of the alcohol. It just tastes like key lime pie. So it's really quite lovely. I would like both of you to roll me a Constitution save.
Another one.
Oh no, I am not.
Another
feeling this.
one.
Ah, yeah, 19
Another
for
one.
this one.
All
Second
right.
wind, baby.
I rolled a 22.
Let's go.
Nice.
I rolled a natural 20.
Nice.
Let's
Neither of you
go.
feel any further effects from this.
Good.
In fact, Jeb, did you roll to confirm you're not 20?
I did not. 13. So
Yeah,
confirmed.
you're actually picking, like, you're feeling yourself pick back up. You actually lose the disadvantage on your dexterity checks. You're
nice.
back to basically being a sober dude.
Yeah, I can
it's
feel my fingertips again.
yeah, exactly. The key lime is so good, I guess, that it's brought it back. Citron
Yes, that
de
reminds me
fantaisie
of,
Kool-Aid.
The stuff
He's-
that Grandpa used to make way back when.
They're so short, their metabolism just works faster.
That's true. Yeah.
They're a lightweight, but they recover fast.
Yeah.
Jeb's
Okay.
pretty well constituted, though. He just rolled really low before that first time.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's what everybody says.
That's what you say, Bat.
Okay. Will you be
And
trying
I'm right.
another flavor or doing something else? Do you
Do
want
I
me to
hear
read
any
through the
talk
list?
around the fabu?
No, there isn't actually anybody else at this table. It seems like most people have discounted this flavor as being kind of
It's a
not worth
frou-frou
their time.
drink.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's fruity, you know, and so people.
How much is it? Because I think Jeb would like to pick up a couple bottles.
It is like average priced for whiskey.
Okay. Yeah.
As someone
I
who
wanna-
doesn't know anything about alcohol, it's like an average whiskey price. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
He's going to mark it down like on the little sheet
Mhm.
for one crate.
Okay.
Nice. Alan will try to regroup with Jeb a little bit.
Sure.
Like, kind
So,
of join back up
As
with him.
you finish marking your name down, you sense more than actually hear anything as Alan walks up behind you, just because he's so big, and you kind of like turn around and like,
And
oh
also because
yes,
he may
A
actually
shadow.
bump into you a little bit because
Yeah.
his dexterity is not quite all there right now.
that's true. Yeah.
Does he step on Jeb's toe?
No.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay. Sure.
I was yeah, flavor wise, yes, accidentally. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I was thinking, Alan can kind of check around. Is anyone kind of near them to like listen into what he might be gonna say to
Yeah, you
Jeb?
can make a perception check.
Okay. Where are you? Okay, there it is. Okay. 13.
13. You do not notice anybody who is close enough to listen, except the person who is selling Citron de Fantaisie Kool-Aid, who's holding up a glass towards you. Like, you want to try it?
Yes, I would love to. Alan will take a
Okay.
take a glass.
Alan
take a sip.
takes a sip and he rolls a Constitution save.
Jacob might need to roll a Constitution save. Nat 1.
Oof.
Oh,
Nice.
Okay. Did you roll to confirm it?
I will now.
Oh no,
I
he's
confirm.
gonna get Jeb's other
I
foot.
got above a 10 that time.
Okay. So you just failed it. So now you are dexterity and charisma are at disadvantage.
Dang. Drunk Jake gets a charisma advantage, but not Alan.
So yeah, that's your current
Okay.
situation.
Okay. Alan will try to he'll be like, yes, thank you. quite good, and kind of like she'll clumsily slide the glass back onto the table.
Do
and
you
kind
want to
of
buy
clumsily-
some?
It seems as
He's
though
with,
he kind
he's
of
with
like,
me.
yeah,
Oh,
He's
okay.
with me. We already got some.
Very well. And he turns to the
I
next.
pat Aulen on the calf, and I'm like, "Whoa there, buddy. It looks like you might need to slow down a little bit."
I was going to say, Alan will try to like lead him away from that booth a little bit, a
Sure.
little bit out of earshot. I believe it may be beneficial, perhaps, for me to cause a distraction and you to sneak into the house. There seems to be no one at the door. Like, no one at the door. There's no one
Roll
over
stealth.
there.
Especially since he's like 6 feet tall,
Yeah.
and Jeb's like 2.5.
4.
4.
Oh no.
The Chamberlain strolls over towards you. He says, "Sir, do you need more water?"
Yes, I would like.
He refills
No,
your water for you.
Actually, and he like Alan looks at the cup, and then he'll like look at Jeb and like kind of like give him like a eyebrow, like a and then he'll go actually, and then he's gonna throw the glass of water on the ground. No, I would not like more water.
Now,
And then
sir.
I would like more drinks, please. And like kind of
Jeb
like
is gonna
starts
slip away.
stumbling towards the
Oh.
attendant. Like, where are more drinks?
Jeb,
I
roll
would like
stealth
more
with
of them.
advantage.
Oh no. Jeb is really wishing he was Fox right now. Ooh, that's a natural 20, 21
Yo,
total.
let's go.
And let me see if I can confirm it. Natural
Channeling
20
Fox.
on the confirm.
Heck
Let's
yes!
go.
way.
Roll one more time.
Channeling
One
Fox
more
right now.
time.
3
Okay.
on the third one.
Okay. So you do not need to roll again for a while, as you're we're just going to assume you successfully stealth for longer than just getting inside the house. I was going to give you the whole house tour for free, but you didn't confirm the second one. So, okay.
Oh, poo poo.
So while you sneak off into the
just rolled
distance,
2 natural 20s in a row. No big deal.
no, it's a big deal. You're still
I'm just
gonna
teasing. I'm teasing.
heckin' benefit. Okay, so Aulen, you said you're just like stumbling away looking for more drinks.
Stumbling in the wrong direction to try to keep distracting the attendant.
The,
Like
the Chamberlain
person-
is
yeah.
following you, going, sir, the drinks are this way, but you seem like perhaps we should. Can I offer you? Can I help you back to your cart? Perhaps a moment to rest. And he's got a wash towel over one arm. He's like, perhaps a moment to rest, and he's trying to guide you somewhere to have you sit down.
And Alan will kind of just try to dilly-dally a little bit, like, I think I parked this way, but like that's not where he parked, like
Okay.
that sort of thing. Like just kind of trying to fill for time.
Yeah, sure. While you do that, Jebediah Peppermint, you head over to the front door of Mollusk Manor, push it open, slip inside, and in front of you, the trophy hall has large vaulted ceilings. Many pedestals are lit from above by floating lights, like you saw at Dig Site 6, and they display various prototype models of carts, laboratories, tools, etc. They're arranged in a way that's meant to force you to kind of meander and see it all, like at a museum, but it's easy enough to slip between the cases and hide behind one if you need. On the north wall, which is opposite the entrance you've entered on the south side, a set of stairs begins at the center and climbs to the left and right behind a wall, so that's how you would get to the next floors. So this is basically one big, large trophy hall that you find yourself in.
Okay. Just do a quick, like, Jeb's trying to channel his inner Fox. He's like, I'm not good at this, but what would Fox do? He would probably do like a quick. This is Jeb's inner monologue, by the way.
Yeah.
He would probably do like a quick cursory glance around. Anything in here kind of stand out to him, trophy wise?
There are several carts that you've seen Thames using around town, like prototypes of the shipping carts that they use. You see some odd-shaped tools that you don't fully understand, but they've got some openings for wingle digits in them. You see a hand-sized mechanical gnome standing still on one of the pedestals. You see an auto ferret that's just like sitting on another pedestal. And you also see what looks like it's like a box with the top third kind of like corner pulled out. So it ends up being square on one end and then slanted on the other end. And the end of it is glass. And then there's a cipher opening. And go ahead and roll an insight to try and figure out what it does.
Well, if this is a trophy room, like, do these have like plaques in front of them?
They do, but they're
Say what
also
they are?
named things that don't really make any sense. Like they're,
I get it.
they're all the company code names for things. So it's like, Red Dragon and stuff like that. They don't.
Gotcha. You said insight.
Project X.
Yeah, exactly. Insight, or if you
four.
want to justify another skill, you can. But
No, I mean, like, if
Yeah.
it's magical, maybe Arcana, but that's still only going to get me up
Yeah.
to like a 9.
yeah, so
Like,
you
it's
can't
not
really
gonna be
tell
that
what it
great.
is. But that's what you see in this room. And again, you find this room deserted. So there's just the door behind you on the south wall that you just came in through, or there are the stairs on the north edge of the room.
Does the little, like, how small is the little auto gnome?
The little autonome is like it fits in your palm. So we're talking tiny in terms of D&D scale.
Jeb's going to pocket it.
Okay. You do that.
And how big is the thing with the glass thing on the end?
It is for Jeb, it's about half as tall as you are.
Just pocket it.
And you said there's a place for a cipher, right?
There is. Yep. Could
I
not, sorry,
take,
not a
like-
cipher, wingle digit. It's got the wingle digit slot, like the ciphers have,
Gotcha.
where you would push in 10 wingles to make it go.
Does it take a full stack?
Yeah.
Jeb consults his shoulder angels. All right, guys. I don't know what it is, but it looks significant. Do I just plunge a stack of them in here,
Get some
or should we
shoulder
look
angel
around
music.
first?
It's probably worth it.
Nah, don't do it, man. That's a lot of wingles.
Yeah, but how else are you gonna find out what it does?
What if it kills him?
What if it does something awesome?
What if it doesn't?
I mean, come on. It's a trophy place. Like, how is it not gonna do
What if it's a
something
booby
awesome?
trap meant to fool and deceive those who wish to take things?
Come
What if
on,
you're
he's
meant
been
to
working
make
under
your
Fox.
own decisions and not listen to either of the shoulder
Wait a
angels
minute.
or demons? What if you're
Yeah,
hiring
get
No,
a
I had
function
a
of
third
learning?
angel.
Hey, you
Get
get,
outta
out of
here.
here.
I'm
think
on
that
top
was
of
my
his
heart.
head. I'm on top of his head. You can't reach me.
All right. Well,
Hey.
Grandpa always said, when you don't know what to do, go with your hat. So I'm just gonna leave it here, and we're gonna move on to the. I'm gonna move on to the staircase.
Very well. I'll get rid of the shoulder angel music. You head over to the staircase. The staircase leads up, and the next floor is also all one room. The next floor of the house is a challenge room, which, if you were Aulen, well, he's probably described to you what they looked like in the lab. So it's similar to the one that Aulen described to you from the lab of Awara, although this one is a little comfier than he described. It's got plushy chairs and cup holders and things like that. Each wall has a whiteboard covered with equations, maps, hand-drawn sketches, isometric drawings, all the different things that an inventor might do. On the north wall, just like at the lab patent office, which was described to you by Aulen, there are 2 lockboxes, and beside them a stack of blank paper. One long paper protrudes from the top and bottom of one of these boxes, with a variety of writing and diagrams kind of monogrammed onto the paper underneath the box.
Gonna take a look at it, see what's what on the paper.
Absolutely. When you look at the paper, it becomes apparent that although you don't understand all of the different designs and ideas, Elaine Mollusk is clearly stealing ideas from the lab. They are, each of them is, a different set of handwriting and a different ideation and process, and it appears that maybe when the papers are placed into the lock boxes as offerings, that perhaps they're getting scanned in some way, and a
Aulen
copy is
knew
appearing
it.
here.
He knew it, but he doesn't know it yet.
He doesn't
But he
know
knew
that he
it.
knew it. But that's what the paper coming out of the boxes looks like. You also notice that all the notes on the walls have the same handwriting. So perhaps they belonged to Elaine Mollusk. If you'd like, you can justify something and try to roll and decipher Elaine Mollusk's thought wanderings.
I mean, if it's cipher stuff, would Arcana
Sure.
seem to fit with that?
Absolutely.
That would be a 21 total.
All right. You can see that although there are many things going on here, as many engineer minds do, this one seems to wander. As Elaine might be working on one thing and then think, oh, but what about this? So there's some unrelated hieroglyphs in the middle of the main stream of consciousness. But you are able to tell that one of the walls seems to be like a deep dive into the etching on a wingle. The inscription has been split and flipped, enlarged and shrunk with many permutations written near it. And it looks to you like it's an attempt to retrofit the etching on a wingle into a variety of different arcane circles that you would use to ritual cast something. You can't quite figure out why that would be the kind of line of consciousness, but you can see a couple of handwritten notes and circled things. In particular, one permutation of that inscription is circled. It's a complex-looking fractal with many different intersections of the design repeating, but next to it is written captures with a question mark, and right next to it, theoretically scalable. Beneath that, underlined with a bunch of question marks next to it, is the single word manufactured.
Do the rune layouts look similar to the layouts of the spikes from the grates that we saw?
They sure do.
Mm-hmm. Jeb's gonna take a moment and pull out his book and start copying as much off of this as possible.
Okay. As he does this, I'm going to add the 5th die to the tension pool. One more and we roll. Meanwhile, outside the house, Aulen has been wandering around pretending he doesn't know where his cart is. At this point, Jeb is inside the house. Are you going to let yourself be led back to your cipher truck, or are you trying to get more drinks? What?
Oh gosh, no. Aulen will eventually if it's like Jeb's disappeared already, he's not gonna try to make more of a fuss out of himself, because if he gets more drunk and goes more crazy, then it's like now he's a problem, and that draws attention to him. But I think he's caused enough commotion.
But more drink though.
I know.
You get led back to
the cart. Yeah.
The Chamberlain leads you back to the cipher truck, and you just kind of sit down on, it's got the little steps like a bus does when you come out of it. So you just sit down on the steps. The Chamberlain puts a wet towel over your face, and in that way that servants have of kind of backhandedly being polite to you, he says, it is terribly warm outside. It's not for everyone, this manner of drink. And it kind of is strongly hinting to you that it's time for you to leave. Shall I find your companion and get you ready to leave?
No. I would love to simply just relax here while he continues to enjoy whatever lovely drinks, and somehow headcanon, maybe somehow he's still got a drink in his hand. He's just these lovely drinks that we've been having. I just let him enjoy.
I like the idea that he's swept up a random drink in his stumbling around. So yes. Zoth and Fox, I would like you to decide from the remaining drinks which one he'll be sampling. There are Bright Blossom, Spring Kiss, Rose Lion, Twilight Berry Whiskey, The Duchess, Maiden's Riddle, Silver Snake, Pure Snowball, and Cloud Drop. That's what remains.
I have a question.
Uh-huh.
So how when servants are going around cleaning up drinks, they'll obviously consolidate half full glasses to empty current ones?
No.
I do know, but I don't think he's ended up with one of those on the excuse that he's already had Unholy Volcano.
All right.
I vote for the Duchess.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. So you find in your hand, this is a good one. It's a small glass boat, And the drink in it looks similar to Goldschlager. Like there's little flecks of gold in it. And you drink through the mast of the boat. And as you drink, it's a very minty flavor. Go ahead and roll a Constitution save for me.
He's just going to be passed out in the car when Jeb gets back.
No, not quite. 23.
23. Okay, this one doesn't make it any worse.
Alan will just like he takes a drink and he just kind of sits back against the stairs and
He's still got the
recline
washcloth
here.
over his face.
Yes. I will recline here until my partner returns.
Very well, sir. And the Chamberlain turns and wanders off. Okay, Jebediah Peppermint. Meanwhile, you have finished copying down. Roll a percentile die for me. This will just be what percentage of it that you copy will like make sense, basically.
Okay. 77.
All right, so you get
Ooh,
70s.
nice.
So you get basically every clue that I've given you, you've copied down. So
Nice.
it's not like a line for line what Elaine Mollusk was doing, because you don't necessarily understand the theory behind her decisions, where she's it could look like this, and she's pulling a bunch of different pieces into play. But you get the gist of it. That's like, this thing looks like the runes in the tunnels, and and the three questions that Elaine has been asking.
Would that allow me like some time to just like some of the things that I don't understand, like some runes or whatever, just to like sketch them out verbatim and study them later?
Sure. Yep. You can do that.
When he concludes that, kind of looks out. Is there a window in here?
Not in this room.
Okay.
You remember from
Well,
outside, the only windows are on the third floor.
Okay. Well, I'm looking for stairs up. I'm looking for a bedroom of some kind.
Yep.
He's got to live here somewhere.
The same way that the stairs, there's basically like a back stairwell on this house, and they just go up, and then on the next floor they go in to get you to the third floor. So you're going up the stairs. It doesn't matter which side you go up. They lead you to the same place, and you can see 3 different rooms that have those sort of like Japanese paper wall dividers between them. So it's really one big room that's been sectioned off into 3. And because of that, you can actually see just a little bit into each one and decide where you want to go. So directly in front of you at the center is what looks to be a study. To the right is what looks like a guest room. And then to the left is what looks to be like a main bedroom.
I want to hit the bedroom first.
Okay. This bedroom is mostly barren, except for an extremely comfy bed with an auto ferret resting right beside it on the nightstand. The auto ferrets, as a reminder, are the little like message carriers that go into the hotlines.
So is it barren, like minimalistic barren?
Yeah, like
Thinking,
minimalistic.
Like, if this has like the paper doors, it's probably got like tatami mats on the floor or whatever.
Yeah, it's like a super
Sleeps on a
minimalist
futon.
place to, except for like the few items that are in here, Elaine has clearly spared no expense. Like it's the most comfy bed you've ever looked at.
All right. What would Jeb do? He'd probably toss it, but be like, so, Angel, you're right. So let's not do what Jeb would do. Let's do what Fox would do. I'm gonna check under the bed. And just like, you said there was a bed in here. Is there like a dresser in here? Is there like
No dresser or anything like that. There's just the bed. You check underneath the bed. You don't see anything under it. It's like a very like Spartan room.
Can I make a investigation check to see if I can find any like hidden compartments or anything?
You absolutely may.
All right, metal dice, don't fail me now. Ooh, you failed me. That's a 2 plus something, probably plus 1. 2 plus 5, 7.
You don't
Not
really
great.
discover anything.
Okay, I'm gonna go check out the study.
The study is cozy. It's lit by a single floating torch orb, the same as the downstairs area was. And it's lined with books to the east and west sides. So you're standing at the north edge. You're looking into it. The east and west is lined with books, and then there's a south-facing window overlooking the whole of the downtown. Like it's one of the tallest buildings in downtown Tumbleweb. The desk is littered with business correspondence, sales reports, contracts, and the like. But you do notice a memo from Jess Basin. And that's basically all there is to see in the study.
What's the letter?
It says, I'm fascinated by the discovery your employee, Mr. Orchid, made. Can you tell me about it in person at the party?
Orchid is
Elliot Orchid.
Elliot's last name.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm going to take that.
Okay. You take it, and I'm going to... You're starting to get sticky fingers. I'm going to roll the tension pool, which has just reached its 6th die. See if any complications arise. Okay, so what are you doing next? Are you going to check out the guest bedroom or head out? You can see looking out the window. Go ahead.
I was going to say, does that seem to be all that's in here?
In this room,
well,
yeah.
I didn't roll too great. Yeah, I got you. I bet I've already kind of like cursory examined it. Yeah, I did want to look out the window. Because that's kind of Jeb's exit strategy. He wasn't planning on going down out front.
Yeah, you look out the window and you can see that in front of you is the loop, the cartway with the different stands in it, and you can see Aulen has been seated on the kind of like front steps of your cipher truck, and the Chamberlain is kind of wandering around the circle, and the Chamberlain's eyes seem to be looking for something.
I'm gonna check out. I think I've got a little time. Jeb says to his hat angel.
Okay.
I'm gonna go check out the guest.
No, you gotta leave now.
I've already decided. Hush. All right. I'm going to go to the guest room.
Okay, you go into the guest room and roll a... Are you trying to be stealthy? I'm assuming you are.
Who needs to be stealthy?
He's been kind of careless up to this point.
Stealthy.
I think that he is going to prioritize investigation and bolt.
Okay.
So no, he would not be stealthy right now.
Okay. You walk into the guest room, and I'll give you a dexterity save to try and leap back out of the room as a full-sized autognome that is standing at the guest bedroom window looking out towards the bowl turns at the sound of your footsteps.
Okay. That's a dexterity save?
If you want to dive like back behind something and be hidden, like jump backwards, I suppose you could confront it.
And I believe I don't have the disadvantage on dexterity checks.
You're all sober.
Because...
Unlike Aulen here.
You know what they say, confrontation is the only way to give an explanation.
What's that face?
I was looking at my
okay.
I was looking at my spells. If I don't focus on this camera thing, it just does a default face.
Oh, that's pretty funny.
That is not good. That's a 7.
Ooh, let's see the perception. Can you read that, chat? That's a 1.
Ooh.
So can I maybe dictate a little bit what happens?
Absolutely, because it confirmed with a 2, so it's a super crit fail.
Could Jeb just like freeze in his steps and his lack of motion be like that it doesn't notice him?
Yeah, the autognome like turns around and scans the room. You actually hear like the gears whirring inside as it turns and looks around, and then it shrugs and goes, "Must have been the wind." And it turns around and looks back out the window towards the loop in the front area, and you are now free to roam about the cabin if you roll a stealth check.
I couldn't win the staring contest.
No.
Oh, sorry, I was looking at my spells.
Does he want to do it?
Yes.
That's a hard one.
Yes, he does. I don't know what it is. I forgot already, but he does.
Does he want to make a stealth check and scope the room out?
Oh, yeah. Fox told you enough. You've got it.
Be careful, man.
You even picked a lock once.
That lock was already open.
I really want Jeb's shoulder angels to be a mainstay in the story now.
I think they are. Yeah, I think they're canonical here. In any split party situation, you should be able to function as each other's shoulder angels. That's pretty fun.
That's great.
I am going to. Jeb is going to cast a spell.
Okay. Does it have any verbal
I'm going
components?
It does.
Okay.
I'm going to cast Rope Trick.
Ooh.
And climb up like into the center of the room at a place where I could like look out through the opening and see, the surroundings. So he's just gonna like boom, shoot it up in the center and climb up into it as quick as he can.
Okay. I'll give you two options. You can roll stealth to cast it stealthily, including the verbal component, or you can roll Constitution to concentrate on the spell, but basically take 20 on the stealth. Like you say it as quietly as, but you're so busy being aware that you have to like really focus to concentrate on the spell. So you can pick which one you want to roll.
That was stealth, or what was the other one?
Constitution. Because there isn't a concentration skill in 5e, right?
Right. Yeah.
So just be Constitution.
Well, yeah. Con is used for the concentration checks.
Yeah.
Right. Makes sense. I'm gonna go with the Constitution.
All right.
It's
He's
all
gonna
Macan.
focus in. Macan man. This has already been established. Jedi
Yes.
Macan.
That is very well established.
Ooh, not that great. 11.
Okay. I'm gonna roll Perception for the auto gnome. I literally can't make. Oh, you could still see it. That's a 7 on there. On that die. So it still doesn't notice as you cast Rope Trick behind it, climb up your rope, and hide away in your little bubble dimension.
Robot
Okay, and
0,
then-
Jeb 1.
I want to give a cursory, like a look around the room, scan around for anything significant or interesting.
Sure.
I really want to know if there's any like sort of make markers on this gnome. Like, why in the world is this auto gnome in guarding a guest room? That seems weird to me.
Yeah, that makes sense. The auto gnome, by the way, the whole time you're there is just staring out the south-facing window, looking towards the wine tasting. So the first thing you see is this room. It's not minimalist like Elaine's room is, but it's still not like super over furnished. There's a very nice sitting chair in one corner. There's a couple of paintings on the walls that are like clearly exquisite and purchased for a lot of money. But they're, kind of generic, abstract looking, like a rich person's version of hotel art. There's a nice bed for the person, although it's not like the super duper comfy bed that Elaine Mollusk has, but it's a nice 4-poster bed. It's got curtains that can be drawn around it, but right now they aren't. And the wall that you walked in on, that south wall, it does have like a small closet in it for clothes and things.
I'm going to. Oh, dang. Let's see. I don't have anything. Ugh. I want to try to make a sound outside the door. What's the construction of this dwelling? You said it was like dirt and marble, but like on this third floor, is it like all marble right here?
Yes.
Okay. And the autognome is still just standing there all stoic looking out the window.
The autognome is standing there all stoic looking out the window.
From my vantage point, can I see what the autognome is looking at?
It just looks like it's looking towards the wine tasting.
Okay.
You do, however, hear some footsteps from down the stairs. They're echoing up because it's all marble floors, so it's big echoey inside. You hear some footsteps and the sounds of two distant voices going, "You know we're not supposed to be in here when we're not on shift." "Yeah, but I just wanted to look at the trophies, okay? I know we start in like 10 minutes, but come on, Elaine's not going to know. She's away at the party." And that kind of sound is echoing up to you. It sounds like maybe two of the servants are like kind of gawking in the trophy room.
What will...
I'm going to do detect magic.
Okay.
See if anything in this room lights up.
The autognome has a small hexagonal depression in its back that is lighting up with every school of magic. And the window has some magic on it too. Let me check what school this is before I lie to you.
Gotta make sure the lie is accurate.
That's right.
Yeah, that's exactly right. No, I just want to make sure I get you the right school. Yeah, divination. That's what I thought it was. There's divination on the window.
Divination.
Yeah.
Interesting, not abjuration. Divination on the window. I'm going to use prestidigitation to make a small sound like a squeaking animal occur just outside the door.
Okay. You do that. And the autognome immediately spins from its spot at the window and moves towards the door in like a brisk fashion, you know, like it's moving. As it travels to where the sound was, is the sound in the stairwell or is it still like on the floor with you?
It's out in the stairwell.
Okay, so as it moves into the stairwell, you hear it come to a stop approximately where the sound was, and you hear that same kind of like zzz as the gears are moving around and looking around.
I want to jump down really quick and look out the window.
Okay, you jump down really quick and you roll over towards the window, and it looks frosty. Like, even though from where you were before, it looked like a normal window that you could look through, now it looks frosty. It's almost like there's some level of smoke kind of like swirling inside it.
I'm going to touch it with my hand.
You touch it with your hand, and the spot where your finger touches it leaves a clear, like, finger dot sized, you can see through the glass like normal. But the rest of it is still all swirly, and that's what you get.
What do I see through that little dot?
You can see outside, like you can see the loop and everything that's happening down beneath you.
I'm going to take a peek over my shoulder. What's the autognome doing?
The autognome is scanning, and it's now taken a few steps further down the stairs and is scanning again.
Okay. Whirling smoke. All right, shoulder angels. Would Fox go through?
Just open the window, man.
No,
Get
don't do it, man.
What's the worst that could happen?
The window
you
in the study
definitely-
was not like this, by the way.
Right.
Yeah, man. This sketch. Don't do it.
Sketch is your middle name.
It is not your middle name.
It could be.
Please don't change your name again.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
All you have to do is unlock the window and lift it up.
That's a lot of work. We could save that energy for something else.
For something boring.
Living is not boring.
Exactly. That's why you gotta live it up and open the window.
No.
Jeb
Live it
unlocks
down.
the window and slides it up.
Okay, Jeb unlocks the window and slides it up. The window appears to be like one solid sheet. Like it has the texture of a window that is 2 panes, but when you try to slide it, it's like one solid block of glass.
So it doesn't slide up, essentially.
No, it doesn't move. But where your fingers
I'm
touch it at the bottom, like the same clear, like there's still little points that you can see through the smoke where your fingers touch it.
What in the world?
That's pretty wicked. It was worth trying to open it, just saying.
I'm gonna use mold earth and along the edge of the window and go open an opening straight through so that I can see outside.
Okay.
Do I see outside or do I see something else?
So you're saying going through the wall, like just straight
Almost
through the wall
say,
to the exterior?
Yeah, like drill a hole through the wall.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
To the side of the window.
Got it. No.
Okay, so my thought process is if this is divination is like seeing or understanding something. And if this is on this window, that means that Jeb is kind of thinking that this is either they're using it to communicate with something or it's like, no, because that would be illusion. Anyway, like that there might actually be something on the other side.
Got it.
Well, now that he's talking about it with himself, that would actually probably be more of like an illusion thing. So,
when you dig your hole through the wall, you do see straight through to the exterior, as though there's nothing on the other side of the wall. But when you dig your hole through, you do notice a single wire leading to the left from the window.
See, I told you it was a trap.
if he's gonna touch it with his finger, and he expects it to be a hotline.
It is a hotline.
I don't know what we found, but it's hot. And that's cool.
Or dangerous.
Jeb is going to use mold earth, and he's going to try and follow that hotline out of the room.
Okay. As you go to do that, the auto-gnome comes strolling back into the room. I'm going to roll the tension pool to figure out if you're in the study by the time it returns to the guest room. I'm assuming you're closing the stuff behind you, right? Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to clear tension, and you did not get any complications. So it walks into the room. The dice are really on your side tonight, dude.
Oof.
It walks into the, and you hear it,
Big fox energy.
As it walks into the room behind you. You follow the line over. It leads into the study, then it goes down, then it's in the floor, and then it comes up into the desk, and it ends in a locked drawer of the desk.
Well, I mean, we're picking the lock. What's this drawer? Well, actually, detect magic again.
Every school of magic is inside that drawer.
Okay. It's
a
something
jackpot.
inside. Not the drawer itself.
Right. It's something inside, not the drawer itself.
Okay. I believe I have lockpicks. I'm just not proficient with them. Yes, that is correct.
All right. So then you can try sleight of hand, I guess.
Yeah. All right. This is not Jeb's specialty, but he is feeling confident. What's
You've
this
done one of
desk
these
made
before.
of?
The desk it's like a solid wood.
Okay.
Like a nice mahogany.
As opposed to like a gaseous wood or a liquid wood.
That's a natural one, ladies and gentlemen.
Ooh.
Oh no!
My luck has run out.
Might at some point. Dang it!
Tempt and fate.
Did you roll to confirm it?
I did not.
Roll again.
17. 17.
Okay. So you
unconfirmed.
attempt to get the lock open with your lockpick, but you realize you're not actually 100% sure what you're supposed to do with just a lockpick. Like there's no tension wrench or anything in your hand, so you're just like kind of poking it into the lock. Like what does this do? And it doesn't do anything. So you're not able to get the lock to open.
Looks like we need
Okay.
more training with Fox.
Yep. Oof. He wants it. He wants it bad, guys.
You're going to need to find a different approach if you want to try again. You're not going to be able to just like, oh, I'll do another lockpick.
A quick listen check. Does he hear that autonome? Is it back in the guest room?
The autonome appears to be all quiet in the next room.
Okay. All right, shoulder angels. We tried Fox's way. Should I try Aulen's way? Should I break it?
It's only wood.
No, just leave, man.
I do not know whether breaking it would necessarily be my way. However, since I am currently drunk, I believe it definitely would be my way.
Dude, whatever he just said, man. I usually
it.
I don't believe there should be a third person on your hat, but hey, man, I agree with what he said.
His
Break
hat
it.
ain't big enough for the three of us.
Amazing. Well, we have plenty of ways to do this. So I'm going to
The chances they'll find out it's you.
You're a really good bad shoulder angel. I'm just gonna throw that out there. You are absolutely wonderful.
Professionally
I pull
poor
from
shoulder
my
angel.
own bad angel.
I was gonna say, I feel like in life, Matt is my shoulder devil anyway.
Oof.
Oh.
Okay.
What would Matt do?
Jeb is not in his best judgment right now. He is in a results mindset. So he is going to cast
right
Hand of
mindset.
Coal and have it erupt and just grab and crush the desk.
Okay. I'm going to just roll a tension pool again. There's only one die in it. It hasn't been that long. Okay. So, the desk indeed gets crushed into splinters, and you're able to see that where that wire ends, there was a cipher embedded into the drawer that was glowing. It has now been crushed, and
Oh, he was trying not to crush it. He was just trying to crush the wood, but okay. Your call.
Sorry, I spoken into existence already.
Yeah.
So the desk do be crushed, and there's a cipher in there that's crushed as well, and a little bit of sacrium
Oh.
dust. Go ahead.
How crushed is it? Like, could he mend it?
Yeah, it's like 3 pieces, like, big chunks. I don't
Okay,
know that
so
you could
if
mend it
none of those-
yourself, but
Well, the mending spell will let you repair like a fracture that's like less than a foot wide.
sure. Then yes, you could mend it with the mending spell.
Okay.
So there's a cipher with some sacrium dust leaking out the center of it, or kind of like puffing up in a little vapor. There's, a bunch of like shredded papers and ruined pens and quills, and ink is spilled on the marble floor, and all that stuff that happens when you destroy the desk in a study. Also, you hear in the next room, you hear the autonome go, "Who's there?" And it immediately comes stomping around the corner and sees you.
Yep.
Told you to get out.
Can I attempt to cast another spell before he like gets out the door, turns around, and like comes in?
Sure.
Ooh.
I would like to cast Mold Earth and just make a big stone slab right in front of the door.
Roll,
Just like from the ceiling to the floor, just woof.
roll dexterity to try and make it in time. Mold Earth obviously
Okay.
works, but let's see if you make it before he gets there. And
Okay.
he's going to just roll.
It does only take an action to cast, so
Yeah.
I don't remember this wall being here. Error.
I'm rolling a dexterity check, you said?
You are.
16.
Ooh, so did he. The attacker wins in a
Ooh.
tie, and I think in this situation, I think you're kind of the attacker. Like, you're trying to make something new and it's trying to see through it. So I think that makes you the attacker. So sure, you are able to make a slab, and it comes around the corner, and there's a big slab there. It stops, and then you hear a
Very
different
nice.
and louder and heavier sounding gear grind, like a bzzz, like it's winding up for something.
Okay. I'm gonna take the cipher, scoop it
Okay.
up. I'm not gonna worry about mending it yet.
Okay.
Just scooping everything up into my bag.
Okay.
And any loose papers, like I'm just gonna
Sure.
just like scrabble them all up into my bag. And I'm running out of spells, but I'm going to cast Fog Cloud in the room and just fill the room, boom, with fog.
Okay. You cast Fog Cloud in the room and fill the room with fog just as a steel fist smashes through the stone wall that you made, the marble wall, and splinters of marble wall fly everywhere. Okay.
We need to make a dex save.
No. You just need to take a little bit of damage.
Okay.
You take 3 points of damage as marble shards fly at such speed towards you that a couple of them like impale into your arm as they otherwise whip past you. They also crack but do not shatter the glass of the window as they like fly towards it. And then you hear the auto gnome go, "Intruder detected," and it drops down to all fours, and you can see its eyes begin glowing orange as it like now it's like crab walking towards you.
And can I even see its eyes through this fog?
Its eyes are glowing through the fog. You can't see the rest of it. So you just have
Nice.
this pair of like glowing orange eyes moving towards you, and you can hear it, as it like kind of scuttles towards you across the floor.
Okay.
We holds you.
Not now.
Yeah, not now.
Okay. I am running to the window,
Okay.
and I'm looking out the window.
Okay, through the spider web of cracks in the window, you can see that.
I am looking for a landing place where I can either stand or hold with my hand that is 30 feet away from me, or within 30 feet.
Let's see, you're 3 stories up, so it would need to be straight down because you're standing on it, so that's only 20 feet up, so it could be a little bit away from you. I'm looking at chat. I did send a hand-drawn map to Wash earlier of the floor plan. I don't think that there's a spot quite close enough for you to make that leap, like not in 30 feet. I'm
Is
looking
there? Oh.
So yeah, out in front of you, like it's like a manicured lawn and the cartway loop, and then it's like on the sides of that loop that the servants' quarters and the stables are located. And since you're at the office door, you're right in the center. So that would be probably another 20 or 30 feet away from the door, like just horizontal, to get to those buildings.
What if I jumped?
You could do it. I mean, I'm a you can always try DM.
Now we're
mean-
thinking with portals.
We did
Well,
survive
that's
that
kind of
mile.
what I was thinking too.
Okay.
mm,
I'll just add a die to the tension pool here.
I mean, Jeb is not shy or not inexperienced when it comes to jumping out very large, dangerous distances.
I'm going to say you need
And
to
he's
make
got-
a call in like 15 seconds, or I'm going to give the auto gnome its next move.
Yep. I'm going to unlock the window if I can, slide it up, and jump out.
Okay, you flip the latch to unlock it, and the glass in it that is cracked just like shatters and falls. So
Okay.
it's open. And you're leaping out.
Yep. If I back, see the eyes, time to like step back and get a running start.
It sounded like you said, if I have time to, I'm going to step back and get a running start. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Sorry, Discord cut out just a little bit.
Oh, my bad.
It's fine. So you can, but it's going to get an opportunity attack.
Okay.
Are you doing it?
Yes.
Okay. It's going to roll its opportunity attack.
Okay.
What's your AC?
11.
It sweeps
Yeah.
out, and one of its metallic fists kind of like catches you behind the ankle, and it hits you for...
Well, what is its to hit? Because that's important.
Its to hit was +4.
Yeah, but have you rolled for his to hit though? Because I
yes,
can do a thing.
Its total to hit was 15.
15. I would like to use my chronal shift as a reaction to force him to re-roll that.
Very well. You have forced him to re-roll. He is rolling again. He actually rolled a 19 this time.
Ooh. Okay.
Sorry, man.
Give it to me.
He hits you for 7 damage as his metallic fist just, like rotates along a piston basically and smacks you. However, it is only enough to stagger your step as you're running forwards. So you can now make your athletics check or acrobatics because you're going down. You can make your acrobatics check at disadvantage, but you can still jump out the window.
All right, and so what I am wanting to do is run full tilt, jump out the window, and fire a fog step so that I land on a neighboring building.
Okay. The only buildings you're going to be able to get the jump range to land on are the servants' quarters and the stables. One's to your left and one's to your right. The stables are to your right, the servants to your left.
Stables
Yeah,
are
the
where I'm
stables.
at. Yeah.
Okay, the stables?
That when I was looking out the window earlier, I was kind of like Wash was looking at the map, but Jeb was like where that stuff is.
Yeah.
So definitely aiming for that. So I'm making an acrobatics check.
Yes, you are.
That's an 11.
It's an 11. Guess I should have figured out what the DC would be for a situation like that. Probably an average. This is probably an average sideways because you're going to use the spell. So, yeah, I would say that probably works because 10 is average. Because you just need to get a little bit of distance towards it.
Yeah.
So sure, you are able to make enough sideways progress that you can use your attempt to roll onto the stable, but I would like you to roll a dexterity save to avoid falling off because your momentum carries through your step. So you're like falling and going sideways, and then you appear on the roof of the stable, but still falling and going sideways. So you kind of like roll or slide across the roof of the stables.
Okay. Another dexterity check, you said?
Yes, please. A dex save.
Dex save.
And this
that's
one's
really
got
good.
a
That's
DC of-
17 plus...
Never mind.
This is 18 total.
Yeah, you did fine. So you land and you even do like a cool like anime landing, like you land on the one knee, like I'm awesome.
Nice.
Behind
once the spell is cast, it's easier,
Yeah, that's true. Behind you, you like look over your shoulder and the autonome, it appears like your spell has kind of disrupted its targeting. It's little like it's still looking out the window, but it's back to the scanning routine. So it's starting at the left, looking at the servant's house and looking towards you. You've got one round to get off the roof before it will see you.
Is there a chimney up here on the servant's house or something?
Oh, that's
that I can
you're
hide
on the
behind real quick?
stables.
Oh, stable. Yeah. If it's just flat up here, I'm just running off the edge and
Okay.
jumping down.
Yep, you run off the edge and jump down.
I have heard him land on the roof.
You
of the
did hear
stable.
him land on the roof of the stable.
Alan, I think canonically Alan has fallen asleep, and then his Jeb.
No, Jeb's just running for the edge. He ain't got time to respond to his name.
Yeah, Jeb, you make it to the edge, so you hop down and you now see Aulen, who's kind of like slumped in the steps of your cart, like.
Should we leave?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. I
And Jeb gets in the back.
can't drive. I can't drive.
Okay.
He's
Okay.
got this.
I can
Convince him he's
drive.
got this. Convince him he's
I've
got
never
this.
driven one of these before.
It's not
All right,
safe to drink and drive.
I,
Okay, well,
Alan will try to like mime like how to do it, but he's still drunk. Like,
So
Yeah.
roll to help with disadvantage animal handling, and this
Okay.
will decide whether Jeb rolls his animal handling with disadvantage or normally.
Just ask yourself what
Oh,
Zoth
no.
would do, Jeb.
5.
Okay, yeah. So roll animal handling with disadvantage, Jeb, to see if you
All right.
can navigate the cart out.
Channel your inner Zoth.
Here it comes. Gotta feel that vibe. Oh, I rolled a 20 and a 2.
Okay.
Oh,
Rolled a 20 and a
Dang.
2.
So he
A
give you
2-0,
they don't
right? A
move.
20 and a 2-0.
He's got no modifier. That's just a straight up 2.
Oof. So yeah, you're like you all get all situated in the seat and then realize you never hitched the rote to the cart. They're like because they've been
Jim's
stabled by
gonna-
a valet.
Alan will
Quick
get out and try
thinking,
to do that.
he's gonna plunge a wingle digit into the little thing on the side for the auto parking and
Okay.
hope that it like auto hitches him up.
Okay. He plunges a wingle digit in there and there's a space for 9 more.
Alan will
Oh,
get out and try to hitch him.
Okay.
He's
Uh,
shoving more in there while Alan's doing
Okay. Alan, roll animal handling, which if it's based in one of your skills that you have disadvantage on, don't forget about that.
No, it's wisdom.
Okay.
18.
Great. So Alan gets the first one hitched, and then all of a sudden the cart itself like reaches forward and harnesses the other one for you. Like a harness kind of shoots out the front of it and
Dang.
grabs onto the other one. At this point, everyone is looking towards your cart, which is harnessing itself instead of being like valet unparked. And the Edison cart still in autopilot just starts reversing as Alan, you're standing there by the rote watching as it like reverses and the rote are being led backwards by it.
Alan's gonna try to get on. Like,
Are you going to get on the rote or are you going to try and get to the door?
no, the door.
Okay, you run over to the door, which does like as you come near it, like senses you and opens, and so you like run
Nice.
inside. The door shuts behind you, but then it auto opens again a few moments later as the Chamberlain runs up and goes, "What are you doing? You can't just simply do. The gates aren't open. Nothing is prepared. You're going to cause an accident."
Alan just shuts the door.
Okay, Alan shuts the door. The door automatically swings open again, like the sensors detects the Chamberlain again.
Alan's gonna try to contest the door swinging open again. He's gonna try to hold it closed.
Okay.
My
Alan's-
friend is very ill. We must leave.
the gates are slowly swinging open, but it will take at least 3 rounds for them to fully open. The
Amazing.
Chamberlain is trying to push in and goes, "You are not well. You've been having too much of the samples. Where did you even go? How did you get back here?" And he's like still trying to push in. You also over his shoulder, you can see the auto gnome has like rolled down the stairs and is coming towards the front door of the first floor. So it's like going to make its way out towards you soon. Alan, roll strength.
Okay. Oh no, I keep rolling bad.
No.
The Chamberlain, like, just by sheer force of compassion, like, shoves open the door. Like, you can't operate a vehicle when you're intoxicated. You need to-
I am intoxicated. He is not.
I guess persuasion. Oh my
It's the
goodness!
truth.
That is
14.
true.
He
He's
rolled a
not
1.
lying.
You make a great
Nice.
case, sir. I apologize. He backs off and you shut the door of the cart. What a good time for a 1.
Oh.
Okay, the gates are not fully open, but you could ram your way through, Jeb. What'll it be?
No, we're in a branded cart. We're just gonna wait. We
Okay,
haven't done anything wrong.
you wait. The gates swing open for 6 seconds, and then you wait. And then the gates-
that next waiting though,
Yeah.
like Jeb starts to freak out a little bit, and
No, just
Um,
wait, man. Just wait.
that second waiting.
You gotta go, man. You gotta go. It could be
That
right
second
there.
waiting, the doors bust open at the front of Mollusk Manor, and the auto gnome, now on wheels, zooms out towards you
Okay,
at
you
very
gotta
high
go
speed.
now.
Nope, time to go. Time to go. Time to go.
I've been saying.
Are you
Jeb is gonna climb through the back
okay?
What?
into the. He's gonna climb through the back. He's gonna say, "Aulen, just drive. I know. Just for a second. Just take it. I'll take over. Just get us out as soon as the gates are open." And then he's gonna climb through the little cubby hole into the back and out the little back window, he's going to use his last spell
Okay.
and fire a hold person on the auto gnome.
Okay. Hold person, is that a save?
Yes, it does need to make a save. I didn't have it pulled up right in front of me because I wasn't expecting
Alan
to
will
use this.
essentially hit whatever the equivalent of hitting the gas is on this thing.
Yeah.
A
Just going
wisdom
straight.
saving throw.
Wisdom? All right.
Wisdom has to beat a 13.
That's an 11. The auto
He
gnome
clenches
whizzing
up and
towards
he
you.
is paralyzed.
Yep, it like freezes in place. Its wheels just all of a sudden stop. The motors inside as it tries to like move, but it can't.
And
and
after
we're
Jeb
going.
sees that, yeah,
Yeah.
Jeb's gonna work
We're
his
off.
way back up towards the front once everything is
Okay.
once we're on our way.
Aulen, by slamming on the gas, the door wasn't fully open, but it was most of the way open. Roll. You don't need to roll for this. I'm just gonna roll percentile to see if.
That's
see if-
another ding.
Bumps or bruises.
Yep. Let's see if you get another ding. Matt, roll percentile as well. I need to roll over what Matt rolls. If I roll over what Matt rolls, yeah.
The ding.
If I roll over what Matt rolls, then you avoid a ding in the cart. So Matt, roll first, and then I'll roll on camera.
Matt, roll low.
I rolled 13.
13.
Nice.
Did you say 13?
Yeah.
Wow. Yep. I rolled. Oh, hang on. I rolled 8. I kid you not. That's a 0-0 on this die, the tens place, and then an 8 on the ones place.
That's terrible.
Dang. So you do get like a long straight line, like as it like runs past the gate. But it does pick up speed very quickly. And because you're at the, like, this is the heart of downtown, but he's still got a prominent position in downtown. So like there isn't a lot of traffic here. So you can get up to high speed and basically take the dash action for your cart, which covers a lot of ground. So you basically make it into the clear, although not stealthily, but you make it into the clear as far as being pursued by any of the residents of Mollusk Manor. And we'll find out what happens next in the future, because tonight's episode of the Wing Badger Tavern has just come to a close.